championships was won in 1987 when the Mustangs defeated De La Salle.
To Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV, presented by Muir Orthopedic Specialists.
Foothill came into Danville last week and wrecked San Ramon's homecoming with a big 23-3 victory. It's homecoming here at Monte Vista. Will Foothill wreck two playoff games or two homecomings in a row? You'll find out next. Happy Friday night from Danville. I'm Chris Babcock. Thanks for joining us here on NorCal Sports TV, the streaming home of Monte Vista football. And tonight we've got a matchup between Foothill, who is 5-1. They're coming off a big win against San Ramon Valley. They've won 5 in a row. They got a big victory at 23-3. The Mustangs are 4-2. They had a tough game against De La Salle, moved the ball offensively, but was only able to put on 14 points, and they lost 49-14. Foothill had lost 8 games in a row. They lost the last 7 games last year and the first game this season to San Leandro, but conceivably they could be 6-0. They had San Leandro on the ropes, but too many turnovers in the fourth quarter, and ended up being a victory for the Pirates. So Foothill is going to control the football. They're going to send some guys blitz from all angles, and we expect a good effort from the Falcons. Monte Vista coming off a tough game against De La Salle. They're at home once again, and they take on a Foothill team who's hot, and the Mustangs are going to have to protect Jack Stewartson and do some things to get the ball game tonight. It's a big win for them. They've got very winnable 4 games, but you got to win the first one, and that's Foothill. We had a chance to catch up with Coach Russi on Wednesday.
You survived the matchup against De La Salle. It seems like you've come out of that game fairly healthy. You got a big 4 games, and of course it starts with Foothill.
Yeah, we played it fun. You know, I enjoy playing De La Salle. I think it's a fun game. Our kids competed well, you know, and we were able to get out of that game injury-free. Now we go into the bulk of, you know, the rest of our league schedule, and Foothill is a very good football team. They play very good football, disciplined football. They play their butts off, and they don't make mistakes. So they don't turn the ball over. They turn the ball over on defense. So we got to match them on that. We can't be turning the ball over. We got to get the ball back from them and play disciplined football and match their discipline.
I think you guys did a great job last week of moving the ball offensively, and in particular with your short to medium passing game. How can that be beneficial this week against Foothill, which you know is going to send plenty of people to try to sack and defend Jack and company?
Really, it can be beneficial to us every week. And as coaches, and myself in particular, need to do a better job of getting our quarterback in a rhythm and establishing the fact that we do have weapons outside, getting them the ball early and let them make plays. And then the next thing we got to do is run the ball complementary to that, and also be able to get the hard yards and when we need them.
You're watching Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV, presented by Muir Orthopedic Specialists.
Muir Orthopedic Specialists specialize in orthopedic treatment and care through physical therapy, reconditioning, pain management, and surgery with over 20 doctors in Walnut Creek, San Ramon, Brentwood, and Concord. Muir Orthopedic Specialists, restoring strength, health, and mobility. Go to murortho.com for more information and testimonials from patients. Muir Orthopedic Specialist, specialized, innovative, compassionate.
Sweeney Kovar Accountants and Advisors have been serving families and businesses in the Tri-Valley since 1984. All of your accounting, tax, and financial planning needs can be addressed by the friendly CPAs at Sweeney Kovar. Conveniently located in Danville, let Sweeney Kovar be your trusted advisor, enable you to keep the important financial promises you have made to your loved ones. Sweeney Kovar Accountants and Advisors, meeting all of your accounting, tax, and financial service needs.
Family owned and operated since 1946 as a full-service jewelry store, Spitz Jewelers has remained true to our founding philosophies. Founded on the tradition of service, quality, and value, today we proudly continue that tradition from the smallest request to the most intricate custom design. While many are tempted to reinvent themselves according to the prevailing fashion, we have never deviated from our core mission. We love what we do, and with 3 generations of success as our inspiration, we look forward to continuing these traditions into the future. Come see us at 1333 North Main Street, Walnut Creek. Spitz Jewelers, making memories for 73 years. Go Mustangs! Ned Milan has over 15 years of experience in the financial industry, serving individuals, their families, business owners, and corporate executives. Going through life changes and wondering how to navigate through your finances? His approach is to help you use your money to match your values so you can live the life you dreamed of. Together, you will develop your financial roadmap and implement an investment strategy to help accomplish your goals. Please contact 1998 Monte Vista alum Ned Milan to develop a plan for your family. Ned Milan from the Lotus Group at Morgan Stanley, seeking to help you simplify your financial life and realize the future you envision. Acre Investment Company is a Northern California-based investment firm pursuing value-add commercial and residential real estate opportunities. A key ingredient to Acre's investment model is the development of strong relationships with stable tenants that have a mutual strategic interest in our real estate acquisitions. These tenant relationships, paired with our financing expertise and the creation of capital-efficient debt structures, has created an impressive track record of strong risk adjusted to our equity sources. Learn more at acrecorporation.com. Acre Investment Company, commercial investments and development, education, and asset management.
Welcome to Monte Vista Football on NorCal Sports TV. I'm Chris Babcock, and I had the pleasure of coaching with this gentleman for 20 seasons. We've been friends for over 40. We're just 42 years of age, both of us. I'm sitting next to a Hall of Famer, just inducted the first class into the Monte Vista Athletics Hall of Fame. The roadshow getting back together is my buddy Craig Bergman, head coach here for 20 years at Monte Vista. Coach, welcome to the show.
Oh, I'm excited to be here. A lot of fun. And when you say Hall of Fame, we went in the Hall of Fame, you and I, and all the coaches that ever worked with us. It's not just one person, as we know.
Yeah, reached out to a lot of people the last couple of days and just reminiscing, and such a great event. Want to thank Andy Popper, the Hall of Fame committee, the Monte Vista Athletic Boosters, and specifically Booster Club President Paul Clark for their efforts. What a class event last night.
Unbelievable. You look at the people that were up there on stage, and I don't know why I was up there. I don't know why either of us were up there.
No.
A couple of bumpkins from
Cloverdale and Willits.
You had NFL champions. You had 3-time NBA Executive of the Year, 2-time Olympian. It's the who's who of sports.
Yeah. This is such a special place, and it's the history long before we got here. And it's just amazing how things have changed but yet stayed the same.
It has. We've seen a lot of physical changes in the school. We were talking about it last night, you and I, and as I look at it off in the distance and I see the new, it's not new anymore, but 2 gyms and a swimming pool, which was never there when we started, and new locker rooms, a new field. And we've seen a lot of changes go through, and all of them for the better. And it's really been neat to see how it's evolved over the last 25 years.
And one of the last games that we played here was the great game that got talked about with Kyle Wright, also a member of the class. The track just all the things that have improved the entire school, not just the athletic facilities, but Stone Valley Road, it's a special place. And this game in particular, when we went against Foothill, it always got our juices going a little bit extra because we were going against Coach Sweeney and his staff that always challenged you, played clean football, hard-nosed football, creative football, trickeration, you name it.
All the above.
Sweeney had those, and all of his coaches just always had things to be prepared for. Correct.
They really took on his personality, and anybody who knows Coach Sweeney knows how tough and gritty he is. And I mean, he coached his players just like he is, and they played like that on the field. And they never had the biggest guys nor the fastest, but they were always so well prepared. Fundamentally, they didn't make any mistakes. Their scouting report, their game plan was always different every year. He'd come up with a different type of game plan to try and slow us down. And, and obviously he had great success against us early, and luckily we were able to get him a few times there going in.
Most certainly. And Matt, just one of our friends, and we used to do coaches events. We'd meet in Livermore or meet out in Pleasanton, or even one time was down in Danville, and just having that unity of the East Bay Athletic League, and now you got the Mountain and the Tri-Valley, and it's
just not
different.
The same.
When we're not playing Amador Valley in football every year, something's not right.
There's something missing between the traditional rivalries of going to play Amador, Foothill, Granada, Livermore. Those teams we've played them forever, and it's a shame that they're not able to do that anymore. And I think it's not for the better. And I think there's a lot of people that feel the same way, and I wish that they'd get back to that.
And maybe we will. The Mustangs have taken the field. You had to be impressed the way they moved the football, Monte Vista, via the air. But they've got a 4-week run here, and I know what you're going to say to this, but what's Monte Vista have to do offensively to go on a run here? You can't be all pass, can you?
No, you cannot be all pass. They've got to run the ball more effectively. And it starts right from the beginning. I think you need to set the tone and try and establish the run early in the first half. We know they can throw the ball, and a lot of those throws that they make are like runs. They're long handoffs when you're throwing the ball out there quickly to the wide receivers on either quick screens, bubble screens, 3-step drop type throws, really trying to extend the field that way. Those are runs in a sense, but you don't get the physicality that you do out of running the football up front, and I think they need to establish that quicker and more often.
And speaking about running the football, as you've seen Foothill play a couple times on film, they were real successful last week on third down. They're going to work the clock. They're going to do things. But this is kind of resembling, they're not coached by Sweeney anymore. No. Greg Hobner's a longtime assistant of Matt Sweeney's. They're starting to resemble this team, an older version of some Matt Sweeney football teams.
When I watched the film, I thought Matt was coaching. It looked it looked very similar to what they used to do. And I think he's taken a page out of Coach Sweeney's book as far as milking that clock, as far as getting after you defensively, bringing 6-7 guys all the time, putting the pressure on you. And they're going to have to do that tonight. If Monte Vista decides to throw as much as they have.
Now, Coach, Foothill has won the toss, and they have deferred. So Monte Vista will get the football to start the game. Bert Mahalicek is the white cap tonight, and as we know, Bert's been a long-time official in the area for just as long, probably longer than we coach.
Very nice man.
Very good guy. Class act. I thought they did a great job at the game against Liberty that Monte Vista nearly tied at the end. So, yeah, we're expecting a first down run, maybe a little play pass, trying to get to a third and short, and Foothill just monopolizing the football.
And I think Foothill's really going to have to do something to try and slow Monte Vista down. They're at a huge speed disadvantage as far as the skill positions go, and I think the number one thing you can do is keep their offense off the field. So they are going to milk that clock offensively, take it down to the last second, try and grind out 3 and 4 yards, and get those first downs and keep us off the field.
Now they've got a particular player, Peter Montini, two-way guy. You're going to see him play in the backfield in the slot, plays linebacker. They're going to blitz him. Pretty physical football player.
Extremely physical. He's a throwback. He really is. He's a throwback guy. You know, he's one of those Foothill kids that you used to see 15, 20 years ago that would just bring it every play from every position on the field.
To honor America, our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV, presented by Muir Orthopedic Specialists, is brought to you in part by Orthopedic Express by MOS. Get the urgent care you need at your convenience. Muir Orthopedic Specialists, specialized, innovative, compassionate. Sweeney Kovar Accountants and Advisors, meeting all of your accounting, tax, and financial service needs. Spitz Jewelers, making memories for 73 years. Ned Milan at the Lotus Group, Morgan Stanley, seeking to help you simplify your financial life and realize the future you envision. Acre Investment Company, commercial investments and development, education and asset management. Fit Pro Go, the most delicious shake ever. The question is, Craig Bergman, who will be our Fit Pro Go player of the game? And American Asphalt, taking care of business in the Bay Area for over 35 years. The Falcons in their road white uniforms. Some keys that I'm looking for tonight. Coach, you can get in anytime. Contain number 1, Montini.
Establish the run.
Establish the run. Big letters down below. And tonight, have the first game to have the turnover ratio in the Mustangs' favor.
Yeah, they've been turning the ball over at inopportune times, and they've got to eliminate the so-called dumb turnovers. And when you put yourself behind the 8 ball by throwing an interception or a untimely fumble, I should say, then you got to find a way to get over that.
Evan McConaughey will kick it off for the Falcons. They like the pooch kick. Return up the left sideline, and it'll be out of bounds. Santa Maria with the return, and the Mustangs will start on offense, and the ball will be spotted at the 27-yard line. They're led by quarterback Jack Stewartson. Jack is the 6th all-time leading passer in the history of Monte Vista. One of our favorites is next in line, Jeff Lockie at 56-40. Crib at running back, Rivas, Ricina, Oliphant, and Shea are the receivers, and tight end Bybee, Marquise Canty, Nick Schrump getting his first varsity start, and Josh Zeising.
And Foothill's coming out with a 4-man front, which is kind of what I expected, not their traditional 5-man front.
And as Coach talked about in the pregame, Crib with a 4-yard run, and it'll be second and 6. They're running a lot of different fronts. Here's the first play of the game.
Gain of 4, second and 6.
Running a little long tackle trap right there. They obviously saw some things on film where the ends got up the field and were able to take advantage of that.
Positive play on first down, second and 6. Foothill showing blitz. And they'll come. Foothill defense playing along the line of scrimmage and rallying up to the football. Tackle by Max Mascello. Trying to work that right side, taking advantage of the pullers, Coach.
You know, he did a nice job of adjusting, ran the same play twice in a row. The end did a nice job of smashing down and squeezing the hole a little bit better than he did on the first play.
But the tight end missed his block out in space, and we've got an early timeout. You're watching Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV, presented by Muir Orthopedic Specialists.
Muir Orthopedic Specialists specializing in orthopedic treatment and care through physical therapy, reconditioning, pain management, and surgery with over 20 doctors in Walnut Creek, San Ramon, Brentwood, and Concord. Muir Orthopedic Specialists restoring strength, health, and mobility. Go to muralortho.com for more information and testimonials from patients. Muir Orthopedic Specialist, specialized, innovative, compassionate.
I told him,
So timeout Monte Vista, and they're in third and manageable, but knowing you coach so much against Foothill and you know that typically when they come into this game, they'll show a front that they haven't practiced all year. And they have already, correct?
Yeah, and I spoke with Coach Rusty this week, and I told him, I said, don't be surprised if they come out in a four-man front because of the things we've been doing offensively and that they've seen on film. All the throwing, it's more conducive to being a four-man front than the traditional five-man front that they're in.
They'll press the receivers to the short side of the field, fake the sweep, throw to Rivas with a catch! Down to the 35-yard line. 30-yard gain for Rivas, and he's really playing with a lot of confidence. Later on the season, Coach, it's a big play.
Oh, what a great throw by Jack. Good timing, laid it out there. Super release out of the receiver, Rivas. He did a nice job of setting that defensive back up with his feet, came inside.
Mustangs, little tempo. Stewartson throws it away. But the key to that release, can we go back to that play? And this is something you stress with our receivers, is get upfield, but then lean into that corner, get a little more space, plant, and go.
Push back, get over your original alignment, really dive inside. He did a nice job of setting him up. It all starts with your feet, and Noah's got such good, quick feet. He's able to get off those pressures rather easily.
2nd and 10 for the Mustangs. Like the fact that Jack didn't have an open receiver, throw it away. Manageable 2nd 10 in Foothill territory. All day to throw.
Nice job, step up in the pocket. Well done.
Call Rivas out of bounds.
Very good job with Jack's feet. You know, I think that's the key to his success is he's moving around so well, keeping his eyes down the field, understanding where his outlet is when he is on the run, so that should he not find somebody, he can at least throw the ball away.
Could there be some opportunities where he could get some first downs with his feet tonight?
Yes, I think he could take advantage of a lot of things with his feet, not just tonight. Over the past few weeks, I've seen a couple times where if he was a threat to run, it would have opened up a lot more options for him in the pass game. So hopefully he does take advantage of that with his feet.
3rd and 10, definitely 4-down territory for the Mustangs. Cribb offset to Stewartson's right. Quick screen out to Oliphant. Nobody's blocking, and I believe we've got a fumble.
There's that turnover you talked about, Coach.
Yep. So that is that is only the second fumble for Monte Vista this season, but their turnover ratio is -6 coming into the game, and that is the kind of the complementary football that Coach Hobner has been stressing to this team. Create turnovers, play good on special teams, set up your offense, and here's a great job of stripping the ball of Oliphant and little split back. Isn't I see a little split back formation?
You don't see
Coach?
it very often anymore. Yeah, something about it, though, does bring back a lot of memories.
F-rub sneak, I digress. Montini with a short gain. Monte Vista defensively, they're giving up 84 yards a game rushing, or passing rather, and just over 17 points a game. They have 8 sacks, and the run defense is their strength. Foothill with a 3-by-1 set. The quarterback, Lombardi, in the shotgun. 2nd and 8. It's going to be a screen. Tight end, maybe to the back.
Nice job of Riccini getting his hands up, disrupting that play. That's what you got to do. If you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up. How many times do we stress that and try and disrupt the throwing lane? Get your hands on it. Nate Riccini did a wonderful job right there.
Edge blitzer here, reads the screen as Coach talked about, and using those basketball skills. So 3rd and 7, how many times? Coach, just run the out to the chains. So we're going to see a chain route here. They're going to run the route to the chains.
And the way Monte Vista's been playing defense this year, I think Foothill's going to see a lot of 3rd and 7. So we'll kind of get an idea early what their idea is on those downs.
High point. It's caught by somebody.
A terrific job catching that ball at the high point, as you say.
Who wants the football?
Defense was in great position. Offensive guy just went up and made a play. I mean, honestly, that's a terrific job by him.
Was that one? So Foothill answers with a big play on the 50-50 ball. As Coach said, they're in good coverage, but couldn't finish the play. Little dive, and Monte Vista's all over that. But there's some keys. Get out, keep winning on third down for Foothill. They were very successful. And for Monte Vista, get off the field on third down. So far, mission accomplished. Foothill converted on third down and defensively created a turnover.
Well, you got to tip your cap to them because they made the play. And it was good defense. It wasn't a missed defensive assignment. It was just a good offensive football play.
Wing formation. Little wing counter. And you'll see Montini, he'll line up in a lot of different spots, Coach. And here he is lined up in the tight wing along the edge of the tight end.
They're going to run a little inside handoff. We're going to pull the backside guard and try and kick out the end. Looks like our end dives inside, and we had a chance to make a play in the backfield, but we didn't wrap up, and that's one thing we got to do. We've got to do a better job of tackling when we have that opportunity in the backfield.
Scores already. De La Salle up on Cal, 14-0, 7:24 left in the first quarter at Winton Treat. Monte Vista hosts Cal next week. And we're going to talk about strong side tackle and weak side tackle after this play. 3rd and 5 for the Falcones.
Monte Vista showing a quarter half coverage, which is different than they did on the last third down.
And they're going to call interference. The corner getting a little handsy, and Thomas Mondello called for the pass interference on the throw down the left sideline.
He had his hands on him. He definitely had his hands on him. They both were battling back and forth.
So Foothill is 2 for 2 on third down conversions. And that just builds their confidence coming on the road. They wrecked a homecoming already last week in Danville, so they're familiar with that. And coming here tonight, they see all the floats. They play in with a lot of confidence. They've won 5 games in a row. And you could say, yeah, their opponents were 5-22, but they beat a San Ramon team last week that was 4-2, and we got a procedure.
And when you watch that game, they really dominated that game.
From the outset.
From the outset. And San Ramon is a good football team, and that was at San Ramon. So they're used to going on the road and taking on opponents in hostile territory.
So the worst thing you want is when you get in the red zone is to have a penalty to take you out of the red zone. So now you're playing behind the chains. It'll be 1st and 15 for Foothill.
Well, especially when you're a run-controlled offense and you're trying to grind the clock out, putting yourself in this situation can be a bind.
1st and 15, and then
another motion, I believe.
And that's 2 penalties. Now, last week, Foothill had less than 5 penalties. I didn't get the official count, but our advanced scout, somebody you're very familiar with, he remains anonymous, said they only remembers 1 penalty last week. So you're playing penalty-free football on the road, and then early on here you go from being in the penthouse 1st and 10 to 1st and 20. And you never had any 1st and 20 plays on your call sheet, did you?
None that worked.
Draw a screen. Sprint right. It's going to be a throwback screen to the tight end, and it
played very well.
Schriefer was all over it. Schriefer was out, missed the game last week. They missed his defense. He's been playing some good football, and that time he smelled the screen, Coach.
He smelled it, and I don't know if necessarily that was the play that Foothill really wanted to run. When you sprint into the boundary there and try and throw back to the field, that's really not taking advantage of what the defense has given you. It's probably a better play if you're going to sprint to the field, throw back into the boundary.
2nd and 20, and Foothill will run their share of screens to the tight end, to the running backs, to the wide receivers.
Notoriously, this has been a big drawdown over the years for Foothill.
2nd and 20, 3 receivers to the boundary. Lombardi, quick pass. And the Mustangs rally up. Connor Shea with a tackle, about a 7-yard gain. And
it's really a good play.
They made a field goal last week, Evan McConaughey, so they're in range. So, I mean, you've cut the distance. You second in a very manageable 15.
You should never look at trying to get it all back in one play and trying to cut it back. You'd like to get a little bit more than 5-6 yards, but still, as you say, they've got a good field goal kicker. They put themselves in range. Anything they pick up here would be a bonus. I look for them to try it, probably not throw it to the chains, but to throw something about 8 to 10 yards and try and break a tackle and run for it.
So we got a 3rd and 13. If you're just joining us, I'm Chris Babcock. Our guest commentator tonight is Craig Bergman. The old road show getting back together, and we're going to do it like we used to. We've got ribs going on after the game tonight, so it's a big night for us. Back to pass, 3rd and 14. Shallow cross.
There it is.
Back releasing away from the quarterback, just like you talked about. A simple play, but Masgello with the little
That's good coaching.
Little
there.
check down.
It is.
It's
good
tough
coaching
to teach high school kids to check down the ball, but this is had the shallow cross, but dumped it off to the running back.
Well, it also goes into what we talked about before, controlling the tempo of the game. Keep the clock going. Get yards if you can. Try and get some points on the board. And they're really controlling the tempo of the game right now.
Evan McConaughey, the punter and kicker for the Falcons. He'll be attempting about a 28-yard field goal. It's up, and it's good. So Foothill points off turnover, and they take the 3-0 lead here on the road, building their confidence. Orthopedic Express by MOS is there for you when that unexpected injury happens. Located in Walnut Creek, Orthopedic Express has orthopedic experts providing specialized urgent care when patients need them the most. Same-day appointments and walk-ins welcome. Go to muirortho.com for more information. Orthopedic Express by MOS. Get the urgent care you need at your convenience. So Foothill with the points off the turnover. McConaughey with the 28-yard field goal, and that's going to build Foothill's confidence. Jacob Oliphant fumble around the 30-yard line, so Foothill takes advantage.
Little pooch kick.
Shepard will field it at the 18. Avoids one tackler. Nice little return. When you practice those, they can turn into putting yourselves in a good field position. Being surprised on special teams.
No, not being surprised, and it's no secret that nobody really wants to kick it to Jacob Oliphant.
No.
He's such a dangerous returner. But you also, risk the thought of you get the ball here at the 36-yard line. That's a great return right there.
Good field position for the Mustangs.
Field position, so should teams try to pooch it, you got to take advantage of it.
Homecoming here at Sam Zackheim Memorial Field. The Mustangs 2x2 set. Rivas and Oliphant at the bottom of your screen. Foothill showing blitz. They'll send 6. And Stewartson.
There you go. Good job, Jack. Very good. Threw it away. Nothing there. Could have run for it.
Had Racina wide open in front of the Foothill bench, but didn't see him, but didn't force it.
I talked to Jack at length last week and tried to get him to understand that, sometimes punting isn't a bad thing. And, throwing the interceptions is a bad thing, and avoiding those things at all possible.
2nd and 10, empty backfield for the Mustangs. Cribb lit up at the 39-yard line.
I think we're going to get
it'll be now. When we first started coaching, we would be awarding a Hot Wheel and a shark for that play. But not anymore.
Not anymore. That was a textbook tackle 15 years ago. Nowadays, that's a 15-yard penalty every time.
So it's a quick throw to Cribb out of the backfield. A little late with that throw.
That's very late. If that was a college play, he'd certainly be called for targeting.
So it'll be the 3rd penalty for Foothill. So
great job of holding on to the football.
The simple 6-yard reception by Cribb turns into a 21-yard gain, and the Mustangs are back in Foothill territory. Cribb didn't do much running the ball last week, but he did have 7 receptions for 51 yards. What's it do for defensive coordinators when your running back's got 7 receptions in a game?
Well, if you can throw the ball to your running back without having to sub another receiver in, it really creates havoc for the defense because a lot of teams would like to sub and put a nickel package in, but you don't have to, or you can't get that nickel package in without another receiver in.
Good first down run by Cribb. And those are the kind of chunk plays with the running game that we want to see more of from the Mustangs. Big gain on first down.
Put yourself in 2nd and 5, and your whole playbook comes into play. 2nd and 10, it doesn't. Now they don't know whether you're going to run or you're going to pass. So it puts you in a huge position.
Connor Shea doing a good job of cleaning up second-level blockers. Foothill in the box, the little naked play to Regina, and he drops it.
I really like to see Jack stretch the field a little bit more and attack the line of scrimmage right there.
So often, and coach is guiding our quarterbacks, he's going to say attack that sideline, make the other defender react to you, or
if he doesn't react, you're going to run.
Right.
And take advantage of your feet. And he had a lot of room out there, and he could have stretched that field, and he also had those 2 guys out there as receivers that could have turned into blockers should he have decided to run.
So an opportunity there to get a first down with your feet, and the Falcons are all over that. Blitz through the A gap, and Massacello is there again. He had a big game last week, and this is a lookout block interior-wise. He's showing he's going.
Ran a little cross blitz there. Backers crossed. Offensive line had trouble picking that up. And that's what happens.
Mustangs are going for it here on 4th and 9. Foothill with a 4-man front. Yeah, they've got 2 guys down, but those 2 edge guys are coming, and then Coach Hobner will call a timeout. You're watching Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV, presented by Muir Orthopedic Specialists.
Sweeney Kovar Accountants and Advisors have been serving families and businesses in the Tri-Valley since 1984. All of your accounting, tax, and financial planning needs can be addressed by the friendly CPAs at Sweeney Kovar. Conveniently located in Danville, let Sweeney Kovar be your trusted advisor, enable you to keep the important financial promises you have made to your loved ones. Sweeney Kovar Accountants and Advisors, meeting all of your accounting, tax, and financial service needs.
Timeout. Monte Vista or Foothill. Both teams have called Is Foothill called both timeouts? So on the
we called a timeout in the first drive to figure out what defense they were facing.
Gotcha. So it's 4th and 9 for Monte Vista.
This is a tough one. I'd expect Foothill to probably put a little pressure on Jack, not let him sit in the backfield.
Empty backfield, so I would expect Foothill to send at least 5, possibly 6 here.
Looks like they're going to bring 6. Guy off the edge done on this side should be coming.
And just play along the chains.
You could see it. If you look at it, they brought the free safety over the top. Jack should have noticed that and understood that linebacker would be running free, as you'll see off the edge.
So the Mustangs don't punt. There's no one with Cribb on the swing.
Nope.
He's still running. So the Mustangs don't punt. They go for it. They lose 15 yards on the sack, and they give Foothill the football on the Mustang 45-yard line.
I know it's not a turnover, but it's as good as a turnover.
It's actually
for a
better.
Aspect.
So 3-by-1 set. Montini in motion. Little lead play.
And that's what Foothill's looking for. That's their game plan. Try and grind out 4 yards on the first down, put themselves to 2nd and 6. Same thing I was talking to before. That opens up their whole playbook. They can do whatever they want in 2nd and 6.
So you could take a shot. You could just continue to run the football. It
keeps the defense off balance.
Keeps them off balance versus playing behind the chains or the traditional 2nd and long run.
One thing I can't get used to is these Foothill uniforms. It's
they're a little flashy.
For Foothill, they're extremely flashy.
Yeah. 3-by-1 set. Lombardi in the shotgun. He's got time to throw, flush from the pocket, little down and out. Pretty good coverage for the Mustangs, deflected out of bounds.
It's a terrific job at getting rid of the football. Not taking the sack. He threw it in a position where maybe his guy could catch it, but nobody else.
Pretty good pass rush by Racina there, forcing Lombardi out of the pocket. So it'll be 3rd and 6. Now they are really using the clock. The previous play, the whistle was blown at 4:08. So they're going to huddle. They're going to walk over. They're going to work that play clock down to you have 40 seconds between plays.
Well, you have 40 seconds, but we all know that it's actually more than 40 seconds.
Montini and the wing, 3rd down.
Monte Vista comes with pressure.
Little shallow cross, and Racina misses the tackle. And Montini picks up the 1st down. Grab, and nobody wrapping. And you talked about Montini being a throwback, and here's a demonstration of his will and power and strength on the shallow cross.
Really a good defensive call. They get a guy free, they bring him up, they have the right defense on. We just did not, Monte Vista just didn't make the tackle, they didn't make the play. When you have those opportunities to stop and get off the field, you've got to take advantage of those things and make those plays.
So Foothill coming in, we talked about the keys to the game. Get off the field if you're Monte Vista on 3rd down. Keep your success if you're Foothill on 3rd down. They're 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions.
And they're not 3rd and short. They were 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7.
Montini dragging 4 or 5 Monte Vista tacklers and picks up positive gain of 4. All right. Most memorable non-league road win.
Most memorable non-league road win.
Road win.
Probably
I'm thinking
when
2
we
of them.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
We played Pittsburgh the first time over there, and we beat them at their place. They were really good. We were a very good football team as well, but we kicked the field goal, I believe, at the end of the game. And
Brett Nottingham, Tommy Hemmingson and company.
It was a terrific football game, a great high school football game.
And also our first road win against Bishop O'Dowd many moons ago. Little lead play.
That's a tough one to forget.
And Massagello with a nice gain on the simple dive. And it'll be 3rd and short, and then you can dial up anything. Coach talks about opening up the playbook. This is like going to the restaurant with a full menu.
And I'm truly expecting this is 4-down territory for Foothill with their offense. I'd be shocked if we didn't see 2 runs in a row. If they don't get it on this 3rd down, we'll certainly come back and do it on 4th down.
And not only that, Coach, but also how they're playing defensively. This is 4-down territory because their defense has been playing lights out the last couple of weeks.
I think we got a timeout.
Started doing the hand count. The back judge and Coach Hobner, sensing that, called the timeout. You're watching Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV, presented by Muir Orthopedic Specialists.
Family owned and operated since 1946 as a full-service jewelry store, Spitz Jewelers has remained true to our founding philosophies. Founded on the tradition of service, quality, and value, today we proudly continue that tradition from the smallest request to the most intricate custom design. While many are tempted to reinvent themselves according to the prevailing fashion, we have never deviated from our core mission. We love what we do, and with 3 generations of success as our inspiration, we look forward to continuing these traditions into the future. Come see us at 1333 North Main Street, Walnut Creek. Spitz Jewelers, making memories for 73 years. Go Mustangs.
So Foothill, red hot on 3rd down. They're 3 of 3, as Coach Bergman has said, who's up in the booth with me tonight. I'm Chris Babcock. Thanks for joining us here on NorCal Sports TV. They're 3 for 3 converting on 3rd down. Those were 3rd and 7s and 8s. This is 3rd and 2.
Much more manageable if you're Foothill.
Take a shot, tight end, pop pass, touchdown.
That's a Foothill staple. Been with that program for years. And that's an excellent call by the offensive coordinator of Foothill at the perfect time. He knew Monte Vista would be trying to bring extra pressure to stop him in the backfield. Really well done by the Foothill offense.
You got to sell this, and Josh Anderson comes right off the line of scrimmage, and an easy 22-yard touchdown pass And just like that, Foothill is, based off this conversion, they're up 9 with a chance to go up 10-0 here at Danville. But we just talked about it, about third and short and how it opens your playbook. You can run anything in your book there. And if you come and run the little dive, Mustangs did not. That was the same play De La Salle ran 3 times last week.
Effectively.
So you got to improve and learn from the past. And as a coach, even though that's a staple play, Hobner saw that's definitely on one of his playlists.
Absolutely, and it was called at the right time. And that's something I got to give credit, I believe, to Coach John Evans, who's been at Foothill for a long time, has really taken over the way Coach Sweeney used to call plays. He's a disciple of Coach Sweeney. He's played for him, coached with him, and you can see a lot of his play calling in him. If you're Monte Vista, you don't have to panic right now. You've got the capabilities of scoring so quickly. We've seen it time and time again. They've got so much speed and so many guys that can make the big play. It's a matter of getting back to doing what you've been doing and not turn the ball over. Just be more fundamentally sound.
55-yard touchdown drive that took almost 3 minutes, and Foothill leads 10-0. But that when you decide not to punt the football and you give this team a short field that's capable of managing the clock, shorten things up. De La Salle leads Cal 28-7, 3:29 left in the first quarter. Return by Monte Vista. Shepard once again with a return, and the Mustangs will take over on the 29-yard line. If you get in obvious passing situations, Foothill's going to turn up the heat.
They're going to turn up their heat. And as I said before, they're traditionally a 5-down lineman defense, and they're running a 4-down lineman defense tonight. But they are bringing that 5th guy almost every play. So they're getting to that defense one way or the other. And that's kind of been the staple of what they do defensively, is trying to put pressure on, bringing 5 guys from all over the place. You can see they're going to do it again right here.
Neely, and I believe the running back left early, and he's called for the procedure. So Monte Vista gives up the touchdown, and then immediately with a penalty with the procedure in the backfield. I believe Neely moved early. So the Mustangs will be 1st and 15, and this is, you get behind the chains. Foothill's going to is going to continue to bring pressure.
And you got to come with the approach. You don't need to get it all back at once. Chip it away. Put yourself back in a second and manageable.
Dime to Racina. He breaks one tackle, speared by another, no call, and Racina will get the first down on the 15-yard gain.
Terrific run after the catch. Great throw by Jack, good read. And those are the types of throws, if you're going to bring pressure, you want to get the ball out of your hands quickly, and that's what they did. They ran a quick little slant right there.
With this gain, Nate Racina has now passed one of our great receivers, Cale Turner, on the all-time receiving list.
I like what Monte Vista is doing here. They're picking up the tempo, and what that does is that keeps Foothill from calling a lot of those blitzes. If they don't have a chance to huddle and get those blitzes called, they have a hard time getting those defenses in.
2nd and 1. So Racina with the big conversion on the slant route, and it's 2nd and 1, and Foothill's got guys walked up to the line of scrimmage. Will they recognize it? Nice catch by Racina.
Once again, in and out of his hands. I think
we've got a flag.
Either that, or we could get something out of Neely. Jack's done a great job of getting the ball out of his hands those last 2 plays. It really negates the pressure.
I don't know if it's a late hit on the quarterback. Face mask
on us.
Oh, it's on the Mustangs.
I keep saying us. I can't get that out of my system.
Coach, we're us. You're an employee. You coach and you teach at Monte Vista. It is us. Sorry. And then you write your letters to Dianne Feinstein or Gavin Newsom if you think you're homers, because we are. Somebody made a comment last night at the Great Hall of Fame dinner. I said, somebody from De La Salle was watching your broadcast, and they said, boy, you're quite a homer. I said, that's one of the nicest things anybody has ever said about me. So now the Mustangs are playing behind the chains. Big pass reception to Racina, but it's nullified by the face mask on the pass protection. You like your back pass protecting, but you don't want him hitting his hands into the face.
You know, one thing I think he's got to do a better job. He's got to attack that blitzer more than he's doing. Right now he's taking him on too far in the backfield. If you see that last play, he takes the running back and he shoves him right back into the quarterback, and it kind of throws his vision off, and it throws his being able to step forward into that pass off.
You played quarterback. You don't like guys at your feet.
You never like guys at your feet. When you're not able to get into that throw, it really takes a lot of the sauce off your throw.
Right.
But the biggest thing is just your vision too, because you got a guy coming right in your face. It disrupts what you're looking at, and you've got to attack that guy at the line of scrimmage and keep him and stone him right there.
So the end of one, Foothill 10, Monte Vista nothing. You're watching Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV, presented by Muir Orthopedic Specialists.
Ned Milan has over 15 years of experience in the financial industry, serving individuals, their families, business owners, and corporate executives. Going through life changes and wondering how to navigate through your finances? His approach is to help you use your money to match your values so you can live the life you dreamed of. Together, you will develop your financial roadmap and implement an investment strategy to help accomplish your goals. Please contact 1998 Monte Vista alum Ned Milan to develop a plan for your family. Ned Milan from the Lotus Group at Morgan Stanley, seeking to help you simplify your financial life and realize the future you envision.
So Monte Vista off to a slow start, early turnover. They trail 10-0. It's 3rd and 9 on their own 41-yard line. And we know by our experience, and even tonight, Foothill on 3rd and long, they're going to put pressure on you. So they've got to protect Stewartson, and he's got to make great decisions.
Well, I'd like to see him throw something quick again and let get it to the receivers, let him run with it.
You got one-on-one coverage at the bottom of your screen.
You know the middle of the field's open. They're bringing that much heat.
Third and 9, and the Mustangs take a shot, and it's incomplete.
Well, it all started with the penalties. When you put yourself behind the chains, as you said, you're limited with what you can do.
So the Mustangs will punt. Connor Shea on for the Mustangs, averaging just under 34 yards a punt, 8 inside the 20. And Foothill has shown the ability on special teams to block a kick, to block a punt, to get a return.
Looks like they're going to set up the return here.
Shea had plenty of time. He's going to get a nice bounce. And returned by Justin Craven, who had a touchdown against San Ramon. And Foothill will take over on their own 37-yard line.
And once again, they're controlling the tempo of this game. They've got Monte Vista right where they want them. They're running the football, extending their drives on 3rd down. Monte Vista's had several timely penalties and turnovers and haven't been able to convert on those 3rd downs.
And we know here or after the next first down could be take a shot time.
It is. We know that they've got several trick plays in their system. They always do. And, this is probably not the right place for them to do it.
Not now, but when they get into Mustang territory,
Absolutely,
I would expect something to come out of the treasure chest.
I expect them to either run or play action pass on 1st down almost the entire night.
Pitch outside, Racina cuts off, and then the reverse of field's going to be a hold. We got fly fishing exhibition with the casting. It's a block in the back, and if it's a spot foul from where it's thrown, Foothill's going to be way behind the chains.
It should be a spot foul, and it looks like they're actually going to call it from around the 35-yard line. It looks like that's where he's...
So when the running back changes direction, this is a result, right, Coach?
You know what? It is. It's good or bad. Yeah. I mean, there's not much in between. Either if you have a guy with good speed, it can reverse the field and get to the edge. It can be a good thing, but you're always at the mercy of those back blocks that are coming from the linemen, from the other receivers trying to come back and block. And usually it's probably going to be worse off than it is going to be well off.
So Foothill, it's going to be 2nd and 22, and or 1st and 22. And as Coach has mentioned so often tonight, you don't need to go back, try to get this all in one chunk. Monte Vista, they're going to run a screen, and Connor Shea's all over that. Nice 6-yard gain, but Shea playing with a lot of vengeance on that play. 7-yard gain on the screen.
Once again, really well executed by Foothill and taking what they give you, trying to put themselves back into a normal down and distance. If they can get another 6 or 7 yards on 2nd down, you get yourself in 3rd and 10. It's not ideal, but it's certainly better than trying to take 3 shots down the field and having a 3rd and 20.
And at the high school level, when you've got a 2nd and long or 3rd and long, and you try to, or a 1st and long, you try to pick it all up, you're putting a quarterback in jeopardy of throwing an interception.
And not just the interception, but the other team's going to pin their ears back. You're really in jeopardy putting yourself in 3rd and 30 instead of 3rd and 20. And you keep coming with pressure, and kind of like right here, the same type of thing that we're talking about.
But does a good job. Lombardi throws the ball away.
But I don't see a receiver anywhere near that. Not sure why it wasn't looked at. There's nobody around. And in high school football, you cannot throw the ball away.
Chip Menard with the pressure. And Foothill so far is perfect on 3rd down tonight. This one is very tough. 3rd and 15. Don't be surprised to see a screen here.
A screen or some sort of run. I don't think they're afraid to put their defense back on the field. And traditionally Foothill's been that type of team to run the ball, punt it away, and play good defense.
And he knows that he gets the ball. Coach Hobner knows he gets the ball to start the second half. 3rd and 16, Lombardi back to pass, pressured out of the pocket, throws downfield. Mondello tipped, intercepted by the Mustangs. Christian Luciano, was that the immaculate interception?
Very similar. That ball bounced around and
right off his helmet, Coach.
Nice job defending that. If you're Foothill, you taking that chance is not that bad. It's almost like a punt for them. Obviously, a punt with a good return. And we, if you are going to throw an interception, that's not a bad time to do it. Monte Vista did take advantage of it with a really nice return, put themselves in good field position.
So we had the block in the back on the turnover, but Monte Vista still in great field position. And again, not a time to panic. Plenty of time here. But you'd like to see him put together a drive, avoid the penalties, avoid the sacks, get a little tempo going offensively.
Try to establish their tempo and pick the speed of this game up, not let Foothill control the tempo like they have been. It would be a good opportunity to go to some quick no huddle as far as 2-minute offense goes.
Empty backfield, screen to Racina.
Really good play call when teams are going to come with pressure. Teams come with pressure. Those kinds of plays can slow you down.
Great call out of the empty backfield, Coach, because they're thinking pressure, and the Mustangs come with what we used to call our in window. Good block in space by Jacob Oliphant. I think if Nate just stays in the middle initially, I think he's still running.
Yeah, he slowed down a little bit, look for the cutback, which that play's not designed to do. You got to keep coming to the middle. Still a great gain.
1st and 10, Stewartson. Deep route to Jay. Stopped running, and it's incomplete.
Look back a little too soon. When you look back, it slows you down. Your natural reaction is when you look backwards, just to slow down. You got to keep running.
Don't put the parachute on, and when the parachute is when you turn back. Go and run.
Run through the ball. Extend your hands at the last minute. That's really a good ball by Jack. He threw it in a good spot, and it was a good decision. He made the right read. Saw you had one-on-one with the safety, and took the shot.
2nd and 10. Not a bad opportunity for a run here to Cribb. Picks up 5.
I like the play call.
And then I think we either have a sideline warning or we've got a unsportsmanlike conduct on the Foothill sideline.
I believe he may have run into him. That was thrown pretty quickly.
Are we beyond warnings? The week 6 or 7 in the season.
Coach Hobner.
He's going to the paperwork. So that usually will let Bert Mahalchik with the call. Yeah, I think we got a penalty on Foothill. I believe this is their 5th penalty of the game.
And it's got to be on the sideline. It was thrown by the side judge. And he's talking to Coach Hobner right now. Coach Hobner very animated.
I got a sideline penalty our first year, and I never heard the end of it.
And you never will hear the end of it.
Just like when he called the middle screen on our own goal line, says, hey, watch where you throw this. Interception. All right, 1st and 10. Mustangs have a break. They're smelling the red zone. Play pass, little screen, crib.
Really
down
well
to the
done.
12-yard line.
We got a penalty in the backfield, probably a hold, which doesn't make a lot of sense when it's a screen and you're going to pop and let those guys go anyway.
I think it's on Connor Shea. So we've got we got dueling penalties. Foothill just was called for a 15-yarder. The Mustangs pick up a nice chunk on 1st down, but then are called for the hold. I believe this was on the tight end, Connor Shea.
We might have another holding down the field as well.
So this is costly. You were at the 21, and now you're back at the 39-yard line?
You know, I know they've had the penalties, but I really like what they've done offensively to take the pressure off the quarterback. They're really throwing a lot of quick stuff, a lot of screens, getting the ball out of his hands, and it's really taking that pressure away. They got to eliminate the
Is that
penalties.
An 18-yard penalty?
It's from the spot of the foul.
He held him on the 25.
It was about the 24-yard line.
Let's go back and watch that. We're not being critical of the officials, but let's see where the tight end is standing here.
He's in the backfield.
Actually, it's not the tight end. It's Zeising.
About the 27-yard line.
Okay. 10-yard penalty. Foothill getting the call here.
You know, those penalties are inexcusable on a screen. You're trying to bring those defensive linemen and suck them into the quarterback. You don't want to hold them. You don't want to protect them as well.
We used to call it an shoot block. So 1st and 28 for the Mustangs. Stewartson is got Rachina. Touchdown, Monte Vista. 39-yard touchdown on 1st and 28. Was that in Coach Russey's playbook?
He's designed that very well.
Karnak-like.
What a great throw. A great throw, great route. I thought at first it looked, and if you watch it back, it looks like Rachina slows down a little bit like Connor Shea did. Ball was underthrown just enough so that he did slow down. He still was able to get to that football.
So Monte Vista, Stewartson to Rachina, and the Mustangs answer.
Once again, we said they don't need to panic. They've got so many weapons that can score quickly, as evident right there, and they're always in the football game.
Price with the extra point, 55-yard drive for the Mustangs, and they trail now 10-7. You're watching Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV, presented by Muir Orthopedic Specialists.
Your investment company is a Northern California-based investment firm pursuing value-add commercial and residential real estate opportunities. A key ingredient to Acres' investment model is the development of strong relationships with stable tenants that have a mutual strategic interest in our real estate acquisitions. These tenant relationships, paired with our financing expertise and the creation of capital-efficient debt structures, has created an impressive track record of strong risk-adjusted or equity sources. Learn more at acrecorporation.com. Acre Investment Company, commercial investments and development, education, and asset management.
So, off the 1st and 28, Rachina on the 9 route, Stewartson with the dime, and the Mustangs on the scoreboard, trail 10-7.
And it's kind of like what we said going in, though. Monte Vista is a quick strike capability, and Foothill is grind it out. Take the time off the clock.
We got a loose ball.
And you can.
I think Monte Vista's got it. Monte Vista's got this football. Little pooch kick and clings off, ricochets off a Foothill returner, and the Mustangs hustling down the field. Little loose ball action. Who wants it, Coach?
It's hard to tell underneath that scrum who came up with it, but somebody did a nice job in that pile.
Sudden change. Sudden change for the Mustangs, and Matt Nuri with the fumble recovery. Monte Vista takes over on Foothill's 36. 2-by-2 set.
Hitch and go. Got him.
That's a holdout. 15
he held it. They called it.
Yeah, they called it. 15-yard penalty. Little what we used to call the hitch and go. And Rivas does a nice job of selling this and gets held. And good play by the
It's a great play by the Foothill
quarterback.
Kid. You know, that he saved a touchdown. It's worth taking a 15-yard penalty over a touchdown. Really nice route by Noah. He's got quick feet, set him up really well with his feet. And it all starts with all the quick throws we've been making over the past couple of drives. You know, Foothill's cognizant of that. They're going to drive on those quicker ones. So now it opens it up for plays like that, the double move type plays that you can score quickly on. Good first down call by Coach Rush.
You got to appreciate the aggressiveness on the sudden change and taking the shot. So 3-by-1 set. Shea in the slot as a detached tight end. Cribb offset to Stewartson's right. Foothill's got 7 men in the box. Cribb resets. They get after it. Gets enough protection. 50-50 ball. Regina deflected. Good defense by number 20, Aiden Jetter. Good coverage. If that ball's to the corner, is this a completion?
Throws it out more. I'm more concerned about the protection. If you watch, the running back's got to step up. Once again, you see him taking that not taking the blitzing linebacker on straight on. He's trying to shoulder him. He slips off, gets into the quarterback's face, and it throws a throw off just enough.
Not a stat, not a sack, not even a hurry, but just enough to throw off the timing. Mustangs empty backfield. 3-by-1 set. Cribb, Shea, and Rivas fly sweep to Oliphant. He turns the corner, turns on the Jets. 18-yard gain for Jacob Oliphant, wearing number 6, reminiscent of Sam DeSaw. Turns the corner here, Coach. Here's pure
really
speed.
Nice edge block right outside. Ryan Neely, or actually, no, it was Cribb who came in and did a really nice job sealing the corner on the linebacker. You got to get the ball to Jacob Oliphant as many times as possible. I've talked to Coach Rusty about this at length. He agrees, and he's trying to develop a lot of different ways to get him the ball. He's so dangerous in space.
There was an example. The Mustangs, 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. Opportunity to take the lead after a slow start. Stewartson. Corner route. Shea. Touchdown, Monte Vista.
Terrific job. Terrific job by Jack with his feet. If you watch him, he moves in the pocket well, keeps his eyes down the field, keeps looking for that receiver, finds him, and lays it out into the perfect spot.
But he's in a position to throw the football.
Keeps himself closed. Very nice job. And it all starts with that footwork. And when you have good footwork, and especially Jack, when he has good footwork, he is much more effective. When he's stepping into balls, he's moving in the pocket. It's when he starts throwing off his back foot is when he has the trouble.
Price with the field goal. And in 29 seconds, the Mustangs have scored 14 points. They once trailed 10-zip, now lead 14-10. Off the turnover on special teams, Mustangs go 36 yards, and Stewartson to Shea and Jack with 46 career touchdown passes. And as Coach Bergman had just talked about, when he has good feet and he's in a position to throw the football, there's an example of his accuracy and his touch. And Shea's open. You got to like the call by Coach Russi. And the tides have turned. It's 14-10.
You know, and what set it up also was the fly sweep to Jacob Oliphant. Speed is something
horizontal and vertical,
you can't
right?
defend. Horizontal, vertical. Get the ball to your playmakers. Let them do things in space, and we're really doing a nice job of that. Obviously, we weren't clicking real well at the first quarter. We've settled down a little bit. We're starting to run a little bit more of our tempo and put them on their heels a little bit.
So if you're just joining us, I'm Chris Babcock with a longtime head coach of the Mustangs, Craig Bergman. Mustangs trail 10-zip. Things weren't going well, but all of a sudden, within 29 seconds, they put up 14 points on the ball.
Oh, they tried the onside kick, and it was.
Now, Monte Vista could have come up with this football?
They could. If Foothill touched the ball first, Monte Vista can get it.
It didn't travel 10 yards, so Monte Vista cannot be the first team to touch the football.
Which they weren't.
So they left it alone. Foothill doesn't have to touch the ball.
No, they could have left it there.
It could have just gone dead.
It would have been a penalty, and then they could have taken the ball right where it was.
And the officials are getting together. Do we have a replay of it? Luis.
It's a Foothill ball. They're awarding Foothill the ball, but I do believe that you are correct. We'd have to see that replay to see if Foothill actually touched it.
And the one time we don't have a replay, we really need it. I'm going to write my governor. In the old Monte Vista days, that's a letter. It's okay, no big deal.
I like the aggressive play, though, right there out of the Mustangs.
Was it aggressive or just a bad step and a kick?
Well, I hope it was an aggressive play because that would have been
because you're putting
really
a team that monopolizes the football in great field position here. So you've got a 3-by-1 set. Anderson, the tight end, it's a little dive, and Canty and Menard and Zizing and that whole interior defense. Regina cleans it up, and the Mustangs playing a little bit more energy. Coach, watch them rally the football.
You can see the intensity's turned up.
A lot of guys
both sides of the ball
wrap it up.
seem more focused now. You know, a lot of things go on in homecoming. We talked about it over the years, and sometimes it takes a little bit to get the kids back into the flow of the game. You'd like to think that they're in the flow of the game from the beginning, but we know that they're 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, and there are a lot of things during homecoming, and it looks like they've gotten their wits about them.
So we got 3 receivers to the boundary, 2nd and 10 for the Mustangs. Regina's coming off the edge on a blitz, and it's
another job of getting this. Great job.
Second pass defense of the night, Coach. Didn't get there, but got his hands up. Foothill's trying to set up a screen here. It's to the tailback, but they couldn't get there, so what do? Get your hands up.
You get your hands up and try and disrupt it, whether you block it or not, get it in the throwing lanes.
Because even if you don't touch it, that hand is going to get in the lane of the running back trying to receive that football. It's 3rd and 10. Foothill has been pretty good on 3rd down tonight. Can the Mustangs get off the field? 3rd and 10 in the pass. This would be a 12-yard out. It's the seam route to the running back, and it's a 1st down. Well, we call this the old trailer route. You send 2 guys vertical, and then the running back follows them right out of the backfield.
Well, they release 5 guys. They release the running back out of the backfield, and they catch Monte Vista in the perfect blitz if you're an offensive player, because they basically filled the void of where that man would have been. With Regina coming hard off the edge, he gets a free run at the quarterback, and it's basically a foot race whether he gets to the quarterback before he can get it off, because if he can get it off, there's nobody there.
So Foothill near perfect on 3rd down conversions tonight. That was one of the keys coming in the game. Could the Mustangs get off the field on 3rd down, and could Foothill continue their success on 3rd down conversion? They are continuing their success. Little dive, and the Mustangs are playing really good defense on 1st and 2nd down. If they can figure it out on 3rd down and make some adjustments, they'll have their opportunities.
And this is a big series because scoring 2 touchdowns in a row, they really changed momentum. This is a chance to really stop Foothill in their tracks and try and put another one on them. If Foothill converts here and is able to go on and get some points right now, they're feeling like they're right back in this football game.
2nd and 7 for the Falcons. Lombardi will line up under center, 3-by-1 set. Montini in motion, play pass.
Well covered.
To the tight end. It's going to be intercepted by Rivas. And he just steps out of the end zone. And Rivas with 2 receptions and then an interception. And it's a turnover. 2nd turnover tonight for Foothill. It looked like Rivas ran the route on this, Coach.
They did. They did a nice job of staying home. The play fake fooled nobody.
Tight end corner route.
This is, Foothill kind of went away from what they were doing. They're moving the ball effectively on the ground. They're doing some things that way, moving the time, and then they come up with this. Don't necessarily think that was probably their best play call. They probably wish they had that one back.
So the Mustangs, with their second turnover now, they have the positive turnover ratio. Empty backfield, which we've seen them do a lot tonight. Stewartson been throwing the ball on time. He does again, little hitch route to Regina, and doesn't pick up much yardage.
Still a positive play. Positive play, keep moving in front of the chains. You're taking advantage of what they're giving you, and these quick things are opening it up for later. We've already seen Nate run by the guy for a touchdown, and you come back and you try and hit the underneath stuff. You're setting it up again for those deep balls.
A good foot fire release on a hitch and go is there when the Mustangs want to go back to it. 2nd and 8, little swing screen to Cribb. And again, not a big gain, but it'll make it 3rd and manageable. 3-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Probably I would have liked that play more to the field because you're really not blocking the linebackers. You see the linebacker runs free. If you give him more room to have to run to the field, then he's got to make that play. And I like the chances of Cribb getting outside.
And when you make him cover the field, aren't you taking advantage of your speed?
You're taking advantage of speed.
And Foothill's showing blitz here on 3rd and 5.
They back out of it.
Stewartson throws it away. Not a bad move at all. Some of those things we've made comments on Saturday morning with quarterbacks. That's the best play you've made all night, and they look at you. But explain why this is such an important play, Coach.
Well, as we said before, sometimes punting isn't bad. He didn't force the football into coverage. He didn't throw that interception that he's been throwing over the last few weeks and putting themselves behind the 8 ball. He's given them an opportunity. They do play good defense. Punt it away. And get your defense back out there and force another turnover.
Shea with a great kick. Tough one to catch. I thought it hit off the hand of number 9. I didn't see the beanbag come out though. That's
didn't
usually
see a beanbag, and there it certainly was close enough to look at, but too hard to tell. So they don't have the advantage of the replay either.
No. So the ball will be on the 30-yard line, 6:02, and a lot of guys term it different things. We like to call this a winner's outs opportunity. Foothill has the football, 6 minutes. They're a play clock control team. They also get the ball to start the second half, so it's a chance to score and get winners outs, if you will.
And it's a chance for Monte Vista to get a quick stop and get the ball back with plenty of time.
Most certainly. Quick pitch fake, and it's a fumble. And
they were trying to run the inside
shot the gap here?
They ran that in the first quarter. They had pretty good success running that tackle trap. This time we get penetration and throw off the...
Broughton swims and gets right over the center.
Basically takes the handoff from the quarterback.
Joe Broughton just with the quick swim move, and it's a loss. No hit. Second and long for the Falcons. It's a wraparound draw, and the Mustangs didn't fall for it.
Did a really nice job of getting penetration, disrupting that, because if he had gotten by that first level, there wasn't much in the second level. Fooled the linebackers pretty well, did not fool the defensive line.
Chip Menard in the backfield with the play. The wraparound draw. I remember the first time that we borrowed that or designed that and ran it against Matt Sweeney. And
one of the all-time plays.
And then everybody started running it, and boy, that went to the house, and it was just so fun of watching the D-line pursue. Otherwise, the running back is
That was the first of many trick plays that night.
Yes,
I believe it was Halloween night.
Yes, it was. 3rd and long. It's going to be a draw. The Mustangs miss a tackle in the backfield, but they'll rally up. Regina with the tackle, and the Mustangs. And here is the example of basic football. Watch Regina rally up, It's 3rd and long. They're not going to take the cheese. They rally up to the football. Racina with the tackle in open space. But let's talk about living with throwing the ball out of bounds and punting. The Mustangs get the ball back based off that one good decision off Jack.
Good things happen when you do that.
Yeah.
And Monte Vista's got a very athletic defense, and they're able to create a lot of turnovers and get off the field. We haven't seen it a lot tonight, but we're starting to see it a little bit more as we've seen the tempo of the game change.
And Oliphant's a capable returner. His heels are on the 45-yard line. Nice punt. He's got room towards the Foothill bench. He's got an alleyway.
Once again, great field position.
Great, about a 28-yard return by Jacob Oliphant. And speed kills.
You know, this is a big drive for Monte Vista. Foothill's not built to come from behind. If Monte Vista could punch one in right here, put them down 21-10 going into the half, they are not built to come from behind. And what you want to do is get a team to do what they don't want to do, which is throw the football all the time. And if they can get them into that situation, then Monte Vista is in good shape. This is a big drive right here.
So Crab offset to Stewartson's left. Mustangs in great field position off the. We got a hit to go. Wide open. Touchdown. Monte Vista. 30-yard touchdown pass. And we said it was set up, and boy, can't get any more wide open than this.
You know, Coach Russey and I talked about this route early in the week. Saw on film that Foothill had a tendency to drive on it. With the way their corners play, they're looking in, they're driving hard on those slants. We've run enough slants tonight. You run a good route, which he did, and they drove on the slant, and you blow right by them. It's very similar to a hitch and go. It's a double move type play. And as we said before, if you're throwing the underneath stuff very well, your double moves are going to be there.
So the Mustangs make it 21 straight points, and they lead Foothill 21-10. Stewartson with 3 straight touchdown passes to Racina for 39, Shea for 5, and this one to Rivas for 31, and the Mustangs lead 31-10. Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV, presented by Muir Orthopedic Specialists, is brought to you in part by Orthopedic Express by MOS. Muir Orthopedic Specialists, Sweeney Kovar Accountants and Advisors, Spitz Jewelers, Ned Milan at the Lotus Group, Morgan Stanley. What is that, 28 tackles against Washington?
I think it's 38. Every time I see him, it gets more and more.
Acre Investment Company, Fit Pro Go, and the question is, Craig Bergman, who will be our Fit Pro Go player of the game and my proud employer for 16 seasons? American Asphalt, taking care of business. Pooch kick, line drive kick. He was running across the field to create a lane. It's a 7-yard return by Bushner, but a little squib kick by Price, and Foothill's in good field position.
Yeah,
I didn't really describe that very well.
That squib kick. You're playing well. I think the opportunity to pin him down there deep. I was about to say Foothill's got to be careful here because Monte Vista's got all 3 of its timeouts, and if they could stop them to get the ball back, as we said, they've got that quick strike capability. They could do it again and really put them behind the 8 ball. Now Foothill's in an opportunity where they can do some damage.
3:10 left in the half. Chris Babcock with Craig Bergman here from Sam Zackheim Memorial Field. Sprint right for Lombardi, throw to the chains, and it's complete. And the ball out of bounds, and I believe it'll be past the line to gain, and it is completion to Justin Craven. Had that TD last week against San Ramon Valley. It's a little 58 sprint, Coach.
You know, and if you look at the edge rusher, our edge rusher went inside when he should have gone outside. You got to force that quarterback to pull up. You can't let him get to the edge. We talked about Jack attacking the edge. The Foothill quarterback was able to attack the edge there and throw it to the receiver. If we make him pull up, it's a much more difficult throw.
Cardinal sin when that edge blitzer
goes inside,
loses containment with a quarterback.
That's you
have nothing in front. It's like
edge.
7-on-7. It's like a passing league play. There's nobody in front of you. It's just playing.
Well, at all levels, they talk about setting the edge. That means take care of your edge. Don't let them get to that corner.
Empty set, second and short.
A possible double pass here with a guy that deep in the backfield.
Are we going to cue the circus music? No. Lombardi wide open along the left sideline in front of the Foothill bench. Craven with a second reception in consecutive plays.
Well, it's all built off the fact that he had so much time to throw. And when they have 4 receivers and we're giving them all day to throw right there, we've got to put more pressure on him. A little bit of a flood route here. They used the guy who was deep as a distraction. We sucked our underneath coverage up. They slipped right in behind him.
So the little bunch triangular set in front of the Foothill bench, and little eye candy confused the Mustangs, and Lombardi with the throw to Craven, and it's 1st and 10, and Foothill's in business at the Monte Vista 34-yard line.
And I don't think that's the last time we're going to see that formation. I can guarantee you they've got some other things off that.
Quick throw to the sidelines, doesn't get out of bounds. Be a 7-yard completion from Lombardi.
Plenty of time
to Aiden Jetter.
High school football, 2 minutes is an eternity, even if you don't have any timeouts. That clock will stop every time you get a first down, every time you go out of bounds. And so you can make that 2 minutes last a long time.
We had a game against San Ramon. I think there was about 1:23 left, and I think we got 13 plays off.
I do believe you're right.
We didn't. I don't even know.
Without a timeout.
Without a timeout. Jeff Lockie. 2nd and 4. Play pass. Schriefer coming on the blitz. Nice decision by Lombardi.
That's
and why is it so effective with that ball fake? He was past the line of scrimmage, but it still bought him a couple yards, and he's moving the chains with his feet.
Well, that's just a heady football play by a smart football player. If you're a defender out there in space and you've got somebody attacking you that can throw the ball, you've got to respect that pass, and you can see that that's what it did, and he was able to pick up the first down. He attacked the end of the line of scrimmage.
Lombardi was 9 of 17 last week against San Ramon. He had a touchdown and 180 yards, and it's Foothill ball on the Mustang 24-yard line. Mustangs have scored 3 consecutive touchdowns. Another sprint out by Lombardi. Throw into the end zone, and that's pass interference.
Well, it's the same type of thing. It was a double move that they put on us. He actually had him beat. And fortunately enough, the quarterback wasn't able to get his feet around quick enough to throw the ball.
Throw into the end zone, and Oliphant called for the pass interference. So it's not a spot foul, unlike games at the next level.
And it's not an automatic first down.
No.
In this case, it should turn into a first down because of where the ball is.
But what you mean by that, if it was 1st and 20, it would be 1st and 10 here.
Correct. It is no longer a first. An example from now on, if we pass interference right now in the end zone from this spot on, it's half the distance, but it's not an automatic first down.
Most certainly. So Foothill in the Mustang territory, deep 13-yard line, 1st and 10. Time is not a factor, but Foothill, we talked about it the series before. They have a chance to go winners outs. Coach Shanahan says lap a team, dive play, picks up 4, and it'll be 2nd and 6. But the simple dive.
I really would like to see Monte Vista use a timeout here, try and preserve a little bit of time, because we've seen that they can score so quickly. You've got 3 of them in your back pocket. Take advantage of it, use it, get some time.
The play was whistled down with 1:16. We'll see how much time they run off. Pretty quickly in and out of the huddle. Split backfield for the Falcons. Play pass. And it's a little screen, and we've got a offensive pass interference or a holding penalty.
I believe that ball was caught downfield with Lyman blocking downfield, but they're going to call a hold. I'd like to see that again to see if he actually caught the ball behind the line of scrimmage. It really took a long time to develop. I think a little longer than they wanted. No, he did catch it behind the line of scrimmage.
I think the tailback came out and blocked in space and was exposed, and the officials were all over it and called for the hold. So Foothill
Now the clock does become a factor. With no timeouts and looking at a 2nd and long here. Now, I don't know if they can afford to run the football right now.
So it'll be about 2nd and 21 for Foothill, 2nd and 22.
And with the fact that Foothill has to run to the sideline to get their play, anything that's kept in bounds here to keep that clock moving is going to put Foothill behind the 8 ball because they're not going to be able to spike the ball and put themselves in a 4th down situation.
2nd and 20. Montini is a wing. He'll go in motion. Play pass.
Trying to run a wheel.
That same trail route. And he's open in the end zone. Touchdown! Foothill! Poor coverage by the Mustangs. Montini comes in motion, number 1, and no one picks him up, Coach.
Running a little what we call a falcon route. And it's a really nice play by the quarterback. Does a nice job of getting his shoulders around. I mean, throwing it on the run, back against his body. Great throw, great catch. Well-designed play and well executed.
So Montini, Lombardi to Montini, and Foothill misses the extra point.
Had great hang time, though.
Yeah, excellent hang time. Unfortunately, not an important statistic when it comes to extra points. But Foothill answers with a drive of their own. They take about 2.5 minutes off the clock. They go 57 yards and get the touchdown. And it's 21-16. But they'll be chasing that missed extra point. But as Coach has talked about, Monte Vista has 3 timeouts left.
And as we said, I really wish they had used them a little bit earlier. If they had taken them at the correct times, they'd probably looking at about 1:20 like right now. And but still, we'll see what happens. And Foothill's showing a tendency to pooch kick right now, so we should get decent field position. And with 3 timeouts, we can give a couple opportunities down the field and try and set up at least a Hail Mary. And we've got some size at the receiver position. Maybe go up and make that play.
Would they possibly switch Shepard and Oliphant and put Oliphant as the short man here?
I think Foothill is very well prepared for that, and should they have done that, they would have put him.
Oliphant with the return. Speed kills. The 40. The 50.
He's gone.
The 30. The 20. The 10. Touchdown, Monte Vista. Jacob Oliphant with the 80-yard kickoff return. And I'm going to go bass guitar right there. Bow, 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 bow. Wow, speed kills Oliphant.
You watch this move he makes. He dips inside, gives him a little shoulder. Right there, bounces outside. Once he gets to the edge, there was no way anybody was going to catch him. He's got too much speed.
85-yard
and there's that quick strike capability we keep talking about. And it really, really, really is difficult for Foothill to keep trying to bounce back when they don't have that quick strike capability.
And Price's kick is good. I'm glad I brought a backup scoring summary sheet, Coach, because we're seeing some points. Monte Vista leads 28-16, and that's why Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, Air Force, San Diego, and there'll be a number of other teams getting on the trail of Jacob Oliphant.
I agree. He's a very versatile player. I think his position would be defensively. He's shown great coverage. He's got good instincts as a corner. He certainly is a great return man and can do that at the next level. He's got good speed. He's got a lot of things that you like to say you can't coach.
Yeah. Speed kills, as I said. As soon as he got that ball into his hands, Jacob Oliphant with the kickoff return. And if you're Foothill, I mean, you just go 57 yards on a nice drive, and then all of a sudden Jacob Oliphant goes bow, bow, bow with the 85-yard kickoff return.
It's a deflator. They had all this momentum.
Monte Vista's offside.
They had all the momentum going in at half, and with the ball coming out first, you're right, a chance to maybe score and take the lead. and that just takes the sails right out of you, and it really it gives you, it rejuvenates the Monte Vista team, and they're going into half now feeling really good about what they did.
Most certainly. And some of the successes that Foothill has had in their 5-game winning streak are some of the things that Monte Vista is having success with tonight. And the important thing, there's been a couple of things. The Mustangs have created a couple of turnovers, and Jack hasn't turned the ball over. And there's times where he's he's forced the ball early in the year, and he's simply throwing the ball away. And you got to like that growth.
Well, you know what? He's managed
another loose ball.
I think Foothill fell on it. He's managed the game. We talk about managing the game, putting your team in a situation to win, and he's doing that right now. And we had the turnover early, which certainly wasn't his fault. Jack's done a terrific job of getting the ball out of his hands, not taking the sack, throwing the ball away, taking what they're giving him, and managing the game.
So they've had the answer for the pressure. Early, they didn't handle the pressure very well. You like to see them make adjustments. They have, and then you match in. Oliphant was jealous because Urachina scored, Shea scored, Rivas scored, so Jacob says, gosh darn it, I better score. So 16 seconds left in the half.
In that, when you're spreading the wealth around right there, who do you concentrate on? If you're defense, if you're Foothill, you can't really say, hey, we got to stop this guy.
Foothill's going to take a shot here. Throw to the chains, run first, catch second, which is the complete opposite of what you want to do, and it's incomplete pass.
I'm a little surprised if Foothill's running a play here. I thought they might just try and take a knee and get to the halftime, knowing that they're going to get the ball first in the second half.
So follow us on social media at NorCal Sports TV, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It doesn't cost you any money. You love these games. You can watch them live. You can watch them in replay, creating lifetime memories for these young players. YouTube.com/NorCal Sports TV. We won't charge you. You'll get alerts of our upcoming games. We've got Cal High next week. Sprint over the middle to Monte. A lot of half rolls tonight, Coach.
Yeah, a lot of half rolls. If I'm Coach Russi right here, if they run the ball, I'd use a timeout, try and block a punt. Why not? It's a situation where you might get a freebie.
Or you don't block the punt, you let Oliphant return.
Exactly.
And if they kick it to him, they deserve to have a return.
I would highly doubt that he'll touch a ball again on any returns.
And we play that bass guitar because that's George Atkinson Jr. We watched him film at Granada for the first time. His speed.
I'd like to see it. There you go, Coach Russi. I think that's a great idea. Take the timeout. Give your returner an opportunity.
So they're going to have to.
A couple of seconds went off the clock. Now, if I'm Foothill, I might just take the snap and take a knee because you're going to be able to go to half.
Right.
Let's see if they put their punt team out there or not. They
the
really
officials
don't
are getting together to see if there should be any time put on the clock. I don't think there will be, but there should be.
Yeah, they don't have the capabilities that the collegiate referees have to be able to look at the replay.
Officials have been busy, been some unfortunate penalties tonight, but the Mustangs, Stewartson to Regina, Stewartson to Shea, Stewartson to Rivas, and then Jacob Oliphant with the 85-yard. There is nothing more. There's nothing more demoralizing of scoring a touchdown, kicking off, and then letting one return to the house.
I tell you, you go from a high to a low, especially at the end of a half when you've got to go in and eat that at halftime. And it's one of those things where
they're just going to take a knee and go to the half. Only a second left. I like the timeout by Coach Russi. And we'll go to halftime as Monte Vista leads Foothill 28-16. Foothill with 10 unanswered points in the first quarter. But then the Mustangs answered with 28 in the second quarter to take the lead 28-16.
And if you're Coach Hobner going at halftime, you got to wonder how you're going to slow them down. You know, they've scored on three straight offensive possessions and a kick return, and Foothill has got to do some things to try and slow them down and maybe get out of their game plan a little bit more than they have, which could benefit the Mustangs a little bit more than it already has.
If you hear us singing Desperado, that means Foothill's gone to the trick plays, but they get the ball to start the second half. We're going to take an audio break from the commentating and take a quick break here. You're watching Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV, presented by Muir Orthopedic Specialists.
We're here to play the game, and when the unexpected happens, we are here for you. Muir Orthopedic Specialists are the leading experts in sports medicine, providing comprehensive care at 5 convenient Bay Area locations. We also offer advanced digital imaging, specialized urgent care, and physical therapy at our state-of-the-art facilities. Our staff puts you first with high-quality, compassionate care. Muir Orthopedic Specialists, here to help you get back in the game. Learn more at muirortho.com.
Muir Orthopedic Specialists, specializing in orthopedic treatment and care through physical therapy, reconditioning, pain management, and surgery, with over 20 doctors in Walnut Creek, San Ramon, Brentwood, and Concord. Muir Orthopedic Specialists, restoring strength, health, and mobility. Go to muirortho.com for more information and testimonials from patients. Muir Orthopedic Specialists, specialized, innovative, compassionate.
Sweeney Kovar Accountants and Advisors have been serving families and businesses in the Tri-Valley since 1984. All of your accounting, tax, and financial planning needs can be addressed by the friendly CPAs at Sweeney Kovar. Conveniently located in Danville, let Sweeney Kovar be your trusted advisor, enable you to keep the important financial promises you have made to your loved ones. Sweeney Kovar Accountants and Advisors, meeting all of your accounting, tax, and financial service needs.
Family owned and operated since 1946 as a full-service jewelry store, Spitz Jewelers has remained true to our founding philosophies. Founded on the tradition of service, quality, and value, today we proudly continue that tradition from the smallest request to the most intricate custom design. While many are tempted to reinvent themselves according to the prevailing fashion, we have never deviated from our core mission. We love what we do, and with 3 generations of success as our inspiration, we look forward to continuing these traditions into the future. Come see us at 1333 North Main Street, Walnut Creek. Spitz Jewelers, making memories for 73 years. Go Mustangs! Ned Milan has over 15 years of experience in the financial industry, serving individuals, their families, business owners, and corporate executives. Going through life changes and wondering how to navigate through your finances? His approach is to help you use your money to match your values so you can live the life you dreamed of. Together, you will develop your financial roadmap and implement an investment strategy to help accomplish your goals. Please contact 1998 Monte Vista alum Ned Milan to develop a plan for your family. Ned Milan from the Lotus Group at Morgan Stanley, seeking to help you simplify your financial life and realize the future you envision. Acre Investment Company is a Northern California-based investment firm pursuing value-add commercial and residential real estate opportunities. A key ingredient to Acre's investment model is the development of strong relationships with stable tenants that have a mutual strategic interest in our real estate acquisitions. These tenant relationships, paired with our financing expertise and the creation of capital-efficient debt structures, has created an impressive track record of strong risk adjusted to our equity sources. Learn more at acrecorporation.com. Acre Investment Company, commercial investments and development, education, and asset management.
welcome to the field now at the north end of the end zone. The award-winning Monte Vista High School 2019 Marching Band and Color Guard. Tonight, the marching band will be performing a part of their competition show entitled Always Now. This award-winning marching band is under the direction of Mr. Edward Cloyd, with drum majors Nicola Wasadenhout and Kenny Knott. Again, folks, doing shout-outs all night. After we listen to this outstanding performance from this award-winning band, I've got some more stuff to say.
They wasted a lot of time when life was normal. Their attention was bound up in petty concerns year after year. And this is a paradox, of course, because we all know this epiphany is coming.
the award-winning marching band. That's a piece from their competition entitled Always Now. Outstanding. We got some more shout-outs, folks. Big welcome to James and Juliet Bodner. Throwing out a little bit to the magnificent Cynthia Oliphant. We are honored tonight to have longtime Coach Craig Bergman up here in the booth with us. Hall of Fame inductee. Also, folks, remember the game is live streamed on NorCalSportsTV.com. Chris Babcock with the calls. Again, you got somebody at home wants to watch this, have them go to NorCalSportsTV.com. What you see in front of you now, they're setting up for the court. For the homecoming Royals. Before that time, more thanks to our platinum sponsors, Blackhawk Country Club, Danville Driving, California Strength, and the Worth family of restaurants. Walking towards the middle of the field, folks, that's pure royalty. And our first two nominees tonight are Nicole Breyer and Jonathan Kim. Nicole's favorite teacher at Monte Vista is Mrs. Kidd. She wants her students to succeed and always willing to help. If Nicole could eat one food for the rest of her life, it'll be extra toasty Cheez-Its. And if she could have dinner with anyone in history, it'd be Abraham Lincoln. Jonathan is an aspiring anchorman. That good-looking young man could travel anywhere in the world. He would love to go to ancient Greece. Favorite childhood memory is sledding in the snow when he used to live in Massachusetts, and he admires his grandparents' cooking ability. Next up, we have Tori Klein and Jared Patterson. If Tori could live like anyone for a day, it would be her dog. He's got it easy. Her dream job is a journalist. Her favorite teacher at Monte Vista is Julie Mello because she's very funny, nice, and supportive. Jared's dream job is being a pro golfer. I think he'd take it to Tiger Woods. If he could travel back in time, he'd love to meet the dinosaurs. But for being out meat eaters, his favorite thing about his grandparents is that when they take him out to eat, and one day this young man would love to meet Barack Obama and George Bush. Next up, we have Spencer Suboda and Sarah Rizvi. Sarah, she's been friends with Amber Zoo the longest. And Danny DeVito is her celebrity crush. She doesn't like tall men. She strongly believes that AirPods are the greatest invention of all time. And if she could meet anyone in history, it would be Marie Antoinette. Outstanding, Sarah. And Spencer's favorite teacher at Monte Vista is Miss Lawrence. She makes him tea every morning. those good grades. His favorite thing about grandparents is that they know everything. So do parents. We know everything too. And he believes that sliced bread is the greatest invention of all time. Rounding out our homecoming court today is Naveen, Vitamat, and Lizzie Song. If Naveen could travel in time, he'd go back to 2007 in Britney Spears' musical prime. The man loves to dance. If he could have lunch with anyone, it would be Guy Fieri. And he'd eat cheese for the rest of his life. If he could only eat that one food. Lizzie would love to live with Rihanna for a day, wouldn't we all? Her dream job would be the taste tester at Cold Stone. I like you already, Lizzie. If she could be a cartoon character for a week, it'd be Peg a Pig. And if she could time travel.
He'll be attempting about a 28-yard field goal. It's up. And it's good.
Guy off the edge down on this side should be coming.
And just play along the chains.
You can see it if you
take a shot, tight end, pop pass, touchdown.
That's a Foothill staple. Been in that
downfield. Mondello tipped, intercepted by the Mustangs. Stewartson is got Rachita. Touchdown, Monte Vista. 30.
Monte Vista is a quick strike capability, and Foothill is grind it out. Take the time off the clock.
We got a loose ball.
When you can.
I think Monte Vista's got it. Monte Vista's got the opportunity to take the lead after a slow start. Stewartson. Corner route. Shea. Touchdown, Monte Vista. Field position off the. We got to hit and go. Wide open. Touchdown. Monte Vista. 30-yard touchdown pass. Motion. Play pass.
Trying to run a wheel.
That same trail route. And he's open in the end zone. Touchdown. Foothill. Oliphant with the return. Speed kills. The 40. The 50.
He's gone.
The 30. 10. Touchdown. Monte Vista. Jacob Oliphant with the 80-yard kickoff return. So we're back. First half statistics. First for Foothill. 32 yards rushing. Lombardi, 11 of 20 for 150 yards. 2 interceptions. Add on the fumble on the kickoff return, and Monte Vista's caused 3 turnovers tonight. Stewartson, 11 of 19 for 144 yards, 3 touchdowns, only 28 yards rushing. But, Coach, the key there for Jack, who has thrown 13 interceptions this year, has not thrown a pick in the first half, and he's done a good job of making decisions and getting the ball out of his hands.
As we said it before at the end of the half, he's managed the game. He's made good decisions. He's taken what they've given him, and he's doing a really nice job of just distributing the ball to everybody differently. And a couple of times he broke the pocket, he threw the ball away, and we punted. As we said, that's a pretty good play sometimes. Ended up being a great play for us. We stopped them, ended up scoring. And I look for more of the same in the second half. It looks like he's playing with a lot of confidence. And, hopefully we can establish a little bit more of the run game. But it is tough when they're bringing that many guys in the box. But I still think you got to force the issue. You got to make sure that you can run a little bit. And I think you mentioned it before. They could extend their run game with the quarterback when he's out on the edge. Take it what they give him. Take that 7 or 8 or 9 yard run. Put yourself in 2nd and 2, or give yourself a first down, and it would open up a lot more for him in the pass game.
So Foothill, they scored the first 10 points of the game, and Coach talked about Stewartson managing the game, but he's thrown 3 touchdown passes, which is great. But at any level, specifically high school, when you throw 3 touchdown passes to 3 different receivers, what do you do defensively? Who do you guard? Who do you focus on?
It's difficult, and going in, and they've done a nice job all year of spreading the ball around. Obviously, Nate Riccini's been a big target for them, but they've started to get Jacob much more involved, and now Noah's finally getting involved a little bit more too. And I think we've got 3 solid targets at receiver, and you throw in Shea as a tight end who is certainly an excellent tight end. He's not one of the top targets, but he can certainly do something with it when they throw it to him. That makes it really difficult to prepare for. You can't load up one side of the box or one side of the field or try and match up guys when you have that many weapons.
Rivas, 2 receptions, 62 yards. Riccina, 4 receptions for 58 yards. Foothill's been pretty gosh darn good on 3rd down, but the Mustangs, I think, made some big plays. Coach alluded to it earlier. Didn't panic when they were down 10-0 and made some plays and went on a nice run of scoring 14 points in 29 seconds. Price will kick off. Now, in their kickoffs so far today, in their 4 kickoffs, they've squib kicked. So are we going to see more of that? Maybe a possible pooch? Maybe try to kick it deep and rally up, because they've given Foothill good field position all night.
I like the squib kick's okay, but you've got to be able to get it past that second level. You've got to get it to the back level. There you go. See, that's a well-executed squib kick. Make them field the ball back on the 15-yard line.
Return up the middle. The Mustangs rally up, but will be spotted at the 35-yard line.
And that's the first time they've actually gotten it to the back level. And this is probably the worst field position they've had to start with.
35-yard line. I'm Chris Babcock with my partner in crime, Coach Bergman, on color commentary. Some scores. Cal is getting blown out from De La Salle. But San Ramon, coming off a loss last week to these Foothill Falcons, at the end of 3, lead Clayton Valley 23-8. Lombardi in the shotgun, 3 receivers closest to the Monte Vista bench. Lombardi's thrown 2 picks tonight. Oliphant, pretty good coverage there.
Did a nice job of just running stride for stride and coming up with his hand as soon as he looked back for the ball. You're not going to run by Jacob a lot. He's got good feet. He's got good speed. And I'd take that matchup all day. And I think that's falling right into Monte Vista's hands when you try and do that.
And he's guarding him, press coverage, one-on-one. And he's very patient and defensively. And that's important. You're running, you have speed, you play with confidence. The ball's in the air. It's not a time to tense up. And he ran right along the receiver. It's incomplete, and it's second and 10.
It's kind of against what Foothill was trying to establish in the first half, and it's kind of what we talked about, trying to get them out of the game plan, and that falls into Monte Vista's hands.
Quick throw, slant route, and Oliphant's all over it. So it's second on the second down slant route. It's incomplete, and let's check the release at the top of your screen. Montini, it shows press and then drops off the slant route. But then he knows he has the speed to close in on that play.
When you have that kind of speed, you can take a few more chances. He did a nice job of disguising that coverage. He came up and showed a press, and he bailed out at the last second. Still able to drive on a slant route, which can be difficult to do if you're bailing out in coverage.
3rd and 10. Foothill's been pretty good on 3rd down. Can the Mustangs get off the field? It'll be a big feather in their cap because they've scored a lot of points here in the second quarter. Lombardi. Throw to the chains. Oliphant with a near interception. This is our old 5 route. It's push it up to 16, come back to 14. But
right
Oliphant ran the route for the receiver.
Once again, he's got great feet, good hips, drives on the ball really well. He read it well. He broke out of his break before the receiver even made the break.
If that's a well-thrown ball where it's supposed to be, it's an interception.
And you know what? You look at the first half. They were going on 4 and 5 minute drives. That was a 19-second possession, and that's not what Foothill needs. They need to take time off the clock and stay in this game.
Mustangs see opportunities to block a punt, but Oliphant's at the 40-yard line. Kicks it over his head. He makes the Dave Casper catch, and he's got room to run.
He's gone.
Bow, 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 bow. 70-yard touchdown return. Make it 74-yard touchdown return. Jacob Oliphant. I don't remember too many games that I've seen, and I haven't missed one in the last 23 years where we've had 2 special team touchdowns. But look at Oliphant turn the corner. Ooh.
That was special, too. Special teams, that was special. The catch he made over his shoulder, that's not an advised play right there.
No.
So when you have the ability to make those plays, you never want to tell a kid to not make that. Even though as a coach you're holding your breath every time he reaches back and tries to catch a ball over the shoulder like that. What a play.
So all unsportsmanlike conduct on the Mustangs, it'll be marched off on the kickoff, little excessive celebration.
Yeah, that's one thing that.
What's Oliphant done? What has he done the last 2 times he's touched the ball on special teams? 85-yard kickoff return and a 75-yard punt return. And the Mustangs get the key 3 score, and they lead 35-16. You're watching Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV, presented by Muir Orthopedic Specialist.
Muir Orthopedic Specialists specialize in orthopedic treatment and care through physical therapy, reconditioning, pain management, and surgery with over 20 doctors in Walnut Creek, San Ramon, Brentwood, and Concord. Muir Orthopedic Specialists, restoring strength, health, and mobility. Go to MuirOrtho.com for more information and testimonials from patients. Muir Orthopedic Specialist, specialized, innovative, compassionate.
So, what has Monte Vista done? They have scored 35 points in 12 minutes and 37 seconds.
Speed kills. And I don't quite understand the thinking of Foothill kicking to him. You've seen enough film and you've watched teams kick it away from him, and there's a reason why you kick it away from him, and we're seeing it tonight.
Now, we practiced special teams. We didn't put in many punt returns. We had Sam Desaw, some guys that returned, Tommy Hemminson, but most of the time we were just grateful the other team was punting.
Absolutely.
But one thing we didn't give up in our last, I think, 4 or 5 seasons was a special teams touchdown. Because if we were going against a guy, we weren't kicking it to him. Fumbled on the return, picked up on the 27-yard line, and pushed out of bounds. Caleb Lamelli, and Foothill will get the ball back for the second time. And, Coach, we've talked about forcing a team out of their game plan. I'm predicting this could be the series to go into the Halloween trick-or-ration bag for Foothill.
Yeah, especially after they get if they get a first down on this drive, I could see it here. Foothill has got to. This is about the time they have to start changing what they've been doing, like they did in the first. They did it in the last drive, and it looks like they're going to do it again. They're going to spread it out and try and throw it, which is not really conducive to what they want to do. It's not their style of game.
Craven with the first down reception with about a 6-yard gain. Quick throw out there. Mustangs rally up. See, what you don't want to do is bite on that, take the eye candy or the cheese, and then have it be a slant and go. You'll defend and give the 6 yards up. You don't want to make it habit of it, but you don't want to give an easy score.
As a defensive coach, you're telling you guys, don't bite on it. Don't fall for any of the dumb moves. You know that they're gonna try and bait you. We can give up the 4 or 5 yard play. Just don't give up the big one. Make them earn every inch of it.
The dive. Chip Menard called his name a lot tonight, the senior, with the tackle. Now, he has been a two-way starter all year. Didn't get the start on offense. The Mustangs have made an adjustment, looks like for the better. So Chip's playing a little bit more energy, and it's showing.
He's a terrific athlete, you know, and you got to keep your athletes on the field.
3rd and 2. A little RPO, and it'll pick up the first down for the Falcons. So, most memorable win, excluding San Ramon Valley.
Most memorable win. Boy, that's a tough one.
I know. You don't have to answer right away. I'll give you a chance to think about it.
Think about
It's fine.
that a little bit.
That's fine. 1st and 10 for the Falcons. Get their first down of the second half.
Well, you mentioned the Bishop O'Dowd game on the road. A terrific game. They had a 39-game home winning streak. Going in and beating them, that was a big one. Beating Bellarmine at home was a big one. We beat them pretty soundly.
Pass rush. Regina gets home with a sack. They've brought number 8 off the edge, and this time he gets home. He's had a couple of pass deflections, but here gets home with the sack, Coach.
Good pressure, and that's putting Foothill behind the chains. And once again, they're throwing the ball on first down, not what they want to do. Now they've got a second and long. And Monte Vista's really changed the approach that Foothill's taken. And they've made them change because of the ability to score so quickly and put in all those points up. They forced Foothill to do all these things. And you've really seen the sails taken out of their sideline. You see no energy over there right now, which is very untypical. I mean, they don't play that way. They have to play with a lot of energy.
There's the swing out of the backfield. Nice physical tackle in space. Yes, the Mustangs give up a 9-yard gain, but they rally up and tackle in space. Nice physical tackle here. I believe this is Oliphant on the play. Little swing to the back. Yeah, Regina with the physical tackle.
This is that big third down we've been talking about all night. Mustangs have done a better job of late.
They got the interception in the end zone by Rivas on third down, so they've done a better job lately getting that stop on third down. Got the stop on the last third down, and then Jacob Oliphant with the 75-yard punt return. Changing the play, John Evans at the line of scrimmage.
Nice job flushing him out.
Mustangs rally up, and this will be short.
Well, this is definitely a go time for Foothill.
Most certainly. It'll be 4th and 1. The Mustangs do a good job of rallying up and tackling Bushner in space.
What would be interesting here is Foothill going to stay predictable and run the football, or is this that time where you may pull out your trick play, or
the wide pop that De La Salle hurt Monte Vista with so much last week, and then Josh Anderson scoring the Foothill touchdown in the first quarter on the play pass. 4th and 1 rather. Quarterback sneak, they'll do that a lot. Lombardi converts the 4th down to a first down.
And if you're Monte Vista, you're okay with this. They're taking time off the clock. You're forcing them to do it. I mean, they're down 19 points. They're down over 3 scores, and it's difficult for them to try and come back running this type of offense, especially if their defense can't slow Monte Vista down any more than they have.
So we talked about in the opening of playing complementary football and how Foothill has run off in this 5-game winning streak and how it's helped them. Monte Vista, they haven't run and play on offense yet, but they've put 7 points on the board.
Yes, they have.
And they're playing, and they're not giving up big plays defensively. And they're capable of scoring fast, as we've seen so many times tonight and during the season. So credit them of playing complementary football and having a weapon like Jacob Oliphant. That's a hold. No call.
Okay,
there's no one around there. There's not a receiver.
Well, number 2's out there now. He came out after the throw, did a nice
Regina's
job.
held, though. Regina's held on this edge blitz. Watch the little grabalicious by the tight end.
Well, he did, he got his arm out there, and they could call that. They could certainly call it. Being a screen, they probably shouldn't.
Right.
I kind of like the no call on that.
Lombardi, he does a good job. And it's not a kick to a kid discounting his ability when you say he's a game manager. When I think game manager, Coach, and I think you think the same way, making good decisions.
making good decisions and, getting yourself into the right place, setting yourself the right protection, which they asked Jack to do a lot, and keeping your calm. Those are the things that, make a good quarterback, and he's doing a great job of doing that.
Speaking of great jobs, Ben Canty, the senior, two-way starter, he stays at home here. No one blocks him. He reads screen, runs down the line of scrimmage, looks for the wide receiver, and makes the tackle, and it's 3rd and 9 for the Mustangs.
Coach, after some thought, there's a couple other games that come to mind.
Coming back.
How about our first game ever against Antioch? Everybody expected us to get boat raced.
We only
really good Antioch.
We only have 3 minutes to induct you and do your speech, so I had to keep it limited. But there were just little times that we made decisions. Our kids were very nervous going into that game, and I remember me and you just going, hey, let's play catch. Maybe it'll loosen the kids up. It did, and we did that ever since. Nice pass rush by the Mustangs. Lombardi throws this one up in the air. It's a battle. Luciano. I like the no call here.
I do too. The ball's thrown up in the air. It's anybody's play. Go up and try and get it. Whatever happens, happens.
Nice pressure by the Mustangs here.
Not sure. It doesn't look like anything affected the throw. It looked like he just decided he was going to throw it up for grabs.
I love the no call. Luciano, who had an interception early in the game, and it's nice when you're the head coach and your seniors are making plays for you. And Luciano's a senior, very smart kid, heady kid, played that ball well. Big 4th down. Foothill's going for it, and then Hobner will call a timeout. You're watching Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV, presented by Muir Orthopedic Specialists.
Sweeney Kovar Accountants and Advisors have been serving families and businesses in the Tri-Valley since 1984. All of your accounting, tax, and financial planning needs can be addressed by the friendly CPAs at Sweeney Kovar. Conveniently located in Danville, let Sweeney Kovar be your trusted advisor, enable you to keep the important financial promises you have made to your loved ones. Sweeney Kovar Accountants and Advisors, meeting all of your accounting, tax, and financial service needs.
Orthopedic Express by MOS is there for you when that unexpected injury happens. Located in Walnut Creek, Orthopedic Express has orthopedic experts providing specialized urgent care when patients need them the most. Same-day appointments and walk-ins welcome. Go to muirortho.com for more information. Orthopedic Express by MOS. Get the urgent care you need at your convenience. After this play, we're going to talk about this game in Monte Vista football history. And it'll be a good one. Trust me. 4th and 9.
Foothills notoriously run, when it's 4th and 9, run a 10-yard route right to the chains and see if Monte Vista has learned something.
Sprint by Lombardi. He has room to run. He's thrown. He baited him into that throw.
Right to the chains. Very well scouted. Nice job by the Monte Vista defense of understanding what they were going to try and do to them.
Watch Luciano close on this football. He almost baits him into throwing this ball, Coach. Watch him close on this football. Boom!
Did a really nice, good quick feet, understood where the chains were, knew that's what they were going to do with it.
And he played off the chains, ball's thrown in the air, and he closes to the chains.
Two trains of thought here on this drive. You know, you can come out and try and set the tone and go deep real quick, or you can try and establish that run that we talked about at halftime and really get better at it.
Mustangs will host Cal High next week. That game will be here on NorCal Sports TV and also be simulcast live on Comcast, Ed TV, Channel 30 in Contra Costa County. Short route to Oliphant. Bow, bow, bow. 17-yard game. He's touched the ball 3 times for the Mustangs.
He needs to touch the ball about 20 times a game, any which way you can get him the ball. Reverses, quick throws, obviously punt returns, kick returns.
Little shallow cross to Oliphant, and it brings back memories of Sam Desaw. And then Oliphant will have to come out for a play.
And he's hobbling a little bit. Let's hope it's nothing
Hope
serious.
It's a cramp. Hope it's a cramp. bunch formation for the Mustangs. And it's a jailbreak blitz for the Falcons. It'll be a 4-yard gain for Cribb with a physical run.
What a terrific job of finishing. We always talk about our running backs on contact, getting that extra 2 yards. Turn that 3-yard run into a 5-yard run. Turn the 5-yard run into a 7-yard run. And you watch him right there. He just finishes, gets that extra 2 yards. And instead of, just a mediocre gain, you get a pretty decent game, put yourself in a good situation.
It was a blank tea kettle that time. 2nd and 7 for the Mustangs. Naked.
Attack.
Shea out front. Got plenty of room to run. The 30. The 20. Breaks a tackle inside the Foothill red zone. We used to call this in no huddle streaker. Little naked play. Why sneak?
Nice job right there. When we talked about Jack attacking the line of scrimmage, right there was no need to. When you have a guy out in front of you that far, you want to get it to him as quick as possible. If nobody's open, then you stretch it and attack. Right there, he did a great job of getting the ball out of his hands and getting it into the receiver's hands as quick as possible.
23-yard gain for the Mustangs. They're inside the red zone. Hand off the Cribb. Nice play in space. Monte showing his ability to play. That kid doesn't come off the field. And watch him come off the edge here. Cribb with a very capable running back, but Monte's not even blocked.
Yeah, our linemen were working a combo block, and the inside lineman missed a run-through right there, which is something they practice on a daily basis. And without that, picking up that run-through, that play's not going to work.
2nd and 11. Mustangs continue to stay married to this bunch formation in this series. Pitch out to Cribb. You can't pitter-patter your feet. If he just turns the corner and takes on the outside shoulder of the defender, he's going to be a 3rd and 5 from this play. But he doesn't. You can't stop your feet.
We just talked about it 2 plays ago. Finishing the run. Right here, he doesn't finish the run. He decides he'd rather just try and cut it back inside and make a guy miss instead of lowering that shoulder and finish the run like he did 2 times ago.
Look who's in the booth, Coach.
Is that Kyle Wright?
Is that Kyle Wright? Back to pass. Stewartson has got time and throws it into the turf.
That's, Jack and I talked about it that at length. We can live with that. He didn't force the ball. He obviously threw it off his back foot, which is something he shouldn't be doing, but he didn't force the issue. He threw it where he was supposed to and puts ourselves in a situation where we can try a field goal. Or if we wanted to go for it, we could. We didn't throw the interception. He didn't force it. He's managing the game exceptionally well tonight.
How you doing, Kyle?
Doing well. You guys are naturals.
Natural at what? I don't know. You look fantastic. Look like you're ready to play still. Unlike myself and Coach Babcock.
I can grill. All right, ball's on the 24. Price has missed his only field goal attempt of the season, and he'll miss this one. But, as we always say, as long as it goes into the end zone, the ball goes on the 20-yard line.
Which in this case is actually a loss since the ball was kicked from the 18.
So, it's apropos that you're up here, Kyle. This game in Monte Vista football history is brought to you by our alumni partner, Ned Milan at Morgan Stanley. 10-25-2002, Monte Vista behind quarterback Kyle Wright and a strong supporting cast grab control of the EBL and moves a step closer to an undefeated season with a 26-21 victory over Foothill. Kyle completed 12 of 19 for 275 yards. Moreover, his teammates took advantage of 2 big Foothill fumbles, and what a nice present on his 18th birthday. Remember that pie face?
Pie face is legendary. I'll never forget it. My head's going to be on a swivel next Friday night on my 35th birthday.
Wow! Thanks for making us feel real old and on that comment that you're 35 years old.
You threw 2 touchdown passes in that game. Can you remember the plays? I remember them like they were yesterday.
At Foothill, the first time we had ever beat Foothill.
Both of them screen passes.
Yep.
In window.
And who caught him?
Sam DeSaw.
He caught one.
And there you go.
Yep.
That's our Monte Vista football game in history, brought to you by our alumni partner, Ned Milan at Morgan Stanley. Kyle Wright, National Gatorade Player of the Year. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the best transfer that Monte Vista High School has ever had.
Yeah, that's probably an understatement.
Am I risking that right there?
And we said it last night at the Hall of Fame thing. Gatorade Player of the Year, National Gatorade Player of the Year. The millions of kids that are playing football in high school, to have one in your backyard, and it was pretty special. It certainly was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun last night. And obviously Kyle's career here was fantastic. His career after here was fantastic.
You don't know this, but the day it's 3rd and 5 for the Foothill Falcons, that day, Coach was very nervous because we had the big press conference when you announced that you were going to Miami. And a lot of people calling us and trying to get slant route goes incomplete. Foothill will be forced, and then we got a pass interference.
Yeah, we got a hold down here on the corner.
But he was really nervous and how focused you were going to be. And then when we watched you, how you handled that press conference with a lot of the school out here and being announced that you were Army All-American, kid is a class act and
was right down here in front of us on the dirt.
Yes.
It was actually
on the dirt.
Then.
Yeah. Yes.
I liked it better then.
Yeah. So, great moment in Monte Vista football history.
There was such a crown on this field that when you were on this sideline, if you looked across the other sidelines, you could only see from the knee up, literally. And if Coach Sweeney was over there, you could only see his head.
That's a letter.
I hope he hears that.
That's a letter. So the third quarter, less than 2 minutes left, and the Mustangs in control here, 35-16. Lombardi taking a lot of time. Should see a hand count. We don't. Nice pressure by the Mustangs. Flush Lombardi out of the pocket. Going to take a shot. Luciano with the coverage. And Peter Montini with the play. Who wants the ball more? And who's in a better athletic position to make the play? I think number one was here.
He's a terrific player. What a terrific play to go up and get that. And that's good coverage. It's a 50-50 ball. He goes right up over the top of the defensive back, makes the play, and actually does something with it after the catch.
Montini going to be playing playing on Saturday somewhere.
You know what? It certainly looks like it. He's a really, like we said before, he's a throwback football player. He could do it all. You know, I don't know where I'd project him as a receiver, running back type player. He's just a football player, though, and you never have enough of those guys.
And he's playing every single play. So wonder if he just focus on offense or focus on defense, the kind of plays he's going to make. Little wing counter, and the Mustangs are all over that. And we've said his name about 5 times. Let's say it a 6th. Chip Menard. This play used to give us fits.
They're having a hard time getting their back blocks. And what should happen is that right guard should come down on him. He throws a whiff, and once that happens, that play's dead in the water.
If you're not going to block like that, at least yell, look out. Foothill playing behind the chains once again. This is probably going to be the last play of a very quick third quarter.
And I would expect another one of those mini Foothill screens that we've seen over the years. And tonight, they've thrown quite a number of them, and I would expect another one right here. Or something short to try and get some of it back.
San Ramon rebounds after losing last week to Foothill. Throw deep downfield. Montini incomplete. Luciano once again with the coverage. The Wolves with the 23-16 victory of the Clayton Valley Charter Ugly Eagles.
Well, welcome to the EBAL, Clayton Valley 0-2.
Certainly.
It's not the DFAL anymore.
No, it isn't. And this is a prideful league. Yeah, it's the mountain and the valley, and we don't play Amador anymore. We already went through that. We're not going to kick a dead horse, but the EBL took Clayton Valley into the league, and so far they are 0-2. Third 14. I didn't think you could have noisemakers in the East Bay Athletic League.
You know, I don't think you can, but I don't see anybody stopping them.
But back in the day, we used to enforce things like that. Now we just say, hey, that's not in our resume, not in our job description.
Used to be in my job description. Now I'm not going to worry about it.
Serenity now?
Serenity now.
Speaking of serenity now, let's go to another question. Has nothing to do with football. Favorite television show besides Seinfeld?
Besides Seinfeld?
Besides Seinfeld, which we quoted at least 8 times a practice.
I got to go Cheers.
Very good. Modern favorite show, and I'm going to say starts with, just has a one word. Survivor. You're a big Survivor guy.
I enjoy a good reality show. My wife and I, we watch a lot of that.
3rd and 8.
I don't necessarily think that's one of my favorites. But
is complete. It'll be short of the line to gain an obvious 4-down territory, but we're going to go to the 4th quarter. Nice down and out route here, but the Mustangs do a good job of closing and tackling in space. And we're going to the 4th quarter. You're watching Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV, presented by Muir Orthopedic Specialists.
Family owned and operated since 1946 as a full-service jewelry store, Spitz Jewelers has remained true to our founding philosophies. Founded on the tradition of service, quality, and value, today we proudly continue that tradition from the smallest request to the most intricate custom design. While many are tempted to reinvent themselves according to the prevailing fashion, we have never deviated from our core mission. We love what we do, and with 3 generations of success as our inspiration, we look forward to continuing these traditions into the future. Come see us at 1333 North Main Street, Walnut Creek. Spitz Jewelers, making memories for 73 years. Go Mustangs!
Yeah. Was he just enjoying the shout-out?
Ned Milan has over 15 years of experience in the financial industry, serving individuals, their families, business owners, and corporate executives. Going through life changes and wondering how to navigate through your finances? His approach is to help you use your money to match your values so you can live the life you dreamed of. Together, you will develop your financial roadmap and implement an investment strategy to help accomplish your goals. Please contact 1998 Monte Vista alum Ned Milan to develop a plan for your family. Ned Milan from the Lotus Group at Morgan Stanley, seeking to help you simplify your financial life and realize the future you envision.
Sam would have dropped it.
So the Mustangs,
I know.
the Mustangs lead 35-16, a crucial 4th and 2.
Yeah.
Montini in motion, he'll get the fly sweep, and with pure determination.
You know, Monte Vista strung that out well.
I think he picks up the 1st down. It wasn't an easy play. It will be.
They strung it out well. They had an opportunity to give him the backfield, but that kid's made play after play. He's a really good football player. Tough to bring him down with one guy. You know, if I'm Foothill, I like my chances on him getting 1 or 2 yards every time.
So it'll be inside the red zone. 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. Kyle, I'm going to give you this so you see my answer. 2 of your favorite movies after this play. These are the kinds of things we talked about on the way home on bus drives.
Busted coverage right
with
there.
The zero route. It'll get into the end zone.
Monte Vista came with a blitz. They didn't pick up the receiver coming out of the backfield.
Lombardi to Mr. Duct Tape Montini. Here's a little shallow cross. Got to be a hero to throw the 0, and there is no one there.
Nice job of getting rid of the football under pressure. Nobody across the middle.
So Foothill with their first score of the second half.
Much better kick.
And the kick is good.
I think our soccer coach, Chris Lum, probably has been coaching that kid.
You're watching Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV, presented by Muir Orthopedic Specialists.
Your investment company is a Northern California-based investment firm pursuing value-add commercial and residential real estate opportunities. A key ingredient to ACRE's investment model is the development of strong relationships with stable tenants that have a mutual strategic interest in our real estate acquisitions. These tenant relationships, paired with our financing expertise and the creation of capital-efficient debt structures, has created an impressive track record of strong risk adjusted to our equity sources. Learn more at acrecorporation.com. Acre Investment Company, commercial investments and development, education, and asset management.
Mike.
So it's 35-23, and I know we would be on onside alert right here. Hands alert, hands team.
You know, and I don't know if you necessarily have to right now. There's still 11:48 left. You've got 2 timeouts, and as we said, that's an eternity in high school football.
Nice recovery. Ball will be on the 40-yard line. I believe that's Neely with the. So 2 of your favorite movies.
Animal House, I would have to say, is one of them.
Okay, that's not on the list.
How could that not be on the list? You know better than that.
2 of your favorite movies. I know what 2 of them. They're not your all-time favorites, but I know 2 of them that it include.
Shawshank Redemption.
Okay, and?
Saving Private Ryan.
One more. Steve McQueen.
Well, you told me 2.
Steve McQueen.
Oh, we got The Great Escape. Come on, you can't forget The Great Escape.
What's on the card? I don't know you very well. Great Escape and Shawshank Redemption.
It's Escape, not Escape.
Whatever. I told you get to correct me once, and then it'd be the interception off the hands of Rivas and the Falcons. As the momentum turns, they're only down by 12. This is right off the hands of Rivas, I believe.
That's a heck of a play.
It was
a little bit high.
It's high on the slant route. That's the worst spot to throw it as high because you're going full speed. Craven with the interception. And Foothill is in business. And those subjects we were talking about are things that we would talk about on the Ways to Game. Not how we're going to beat the 3 deep coverage or anything like that. Just meaningless information. Play pass. Lombardi buying himself some time. Going to gain some yardage. Stop the clock. Very well done. 4-yard gain. But I like the things that Lombardi does. Even though here it's not a big gain, he does the one key thing. Your opponent here is Monte Vista and also the clock.
You know, that was a ill-advised turnover. It obviously wasn't. It was an unforced turnover. It was tipped, and they made the most of it. But, you know, Monte Vista needs to establish a run, kill some clock. And you're not going to do it when you're throwing the ball like that. We've got to be able to kill that clock a little bit more by running the football.
So Stewartson has thrown 20 touchdown passes this year, but has thrown 14 interceptions.
You know, I wish there was a stat, though, because that's not on him. That one there's not on him. There's been 2 or 3 this year that have hit off receivers' hands. And I think that's got to be done and changed at all the levels, not just high school. But
the old Matt Sweeney pitch toss to the boundary, and the Falcones getting a little physical in front of their bench.
And a little more life over there on their sideline, too.
Here's the quick pitch. I used to love when we'd get into bunch and just run pitch or toss, have 3 blockers out in front.
Well, if you can dominate a team up front, you can run the ball like that. There's nothing better than physically imposing your will on a team and moving the ball up in the field, up and down the field.
So Foothill doesn't go with they just get a great opportunity with the interception and run the dive, and the Mustangs are all over it. And that time, Montini was lined up in the backfield, and with the short dive, split backs, we don't see this much often, and just a simple dive. But the Mustangs' interior defensive line does a good job. So another 4th down conversion opportunity for the Falcons.
Last time they ran a fly sweep. Let's see if they come back to that or fake the fly sweep and give it to the guy inside.
4th and 1, or will Lombardi sneak it? He does. And he picks up the 1st down. They practiced on Wednesday. Monte Vista scout team ran the sneak about 3 different times, and the defense never stopped it.
Well, it's tough to stop when you're only trying to get a half a yard. It's a difficult play to stop, and you don't spend a lot of time in practice working on stopping it. You know, and if you'd like to get them into those situations to have a 4th and 1. And hopefully there's some sort of bad center quarterback exchange that you can take advantage of.
Do the Falcons take a shot here? 1st and 10, but the tight end, Anderson, unsure where he's supposed to line up. Should be a hand count going here. There is a hand count by the back judge. Empty backfield for the Falcons. Lombardi is rushed by Menard, forced out of the pocket. He's got a receiver wide open. Incomplete.
That hit the ground, and they're going to give him a catch, I believe. It was a heck of an effort. I'm not sure he caught that ball, but it was a heck of an effort by that receiver to get his hands underneath the ball.
25-yard gain. Lombardi escapes the rush of Menard. He sold it, and they bought the pallets, and it's a first down for the Falcons inside the red zone. Quick pitch to the boundary. Nice form tackle. Christian Luciano with the play. It'll be 2nd and 11.
Much more physical play on the edge on that same play that they had run a number of times into their boundary.
Boundary runs. It's been a Foothill staple for 25 years.
Well, I'd be interested to see if they'd attempt a field goal in this scenario if they don't get a first down, even though they're still down 2 scores, or if they would go for it.
Monte Vista's only had 1 possession in the second half. Helps that Oliphant returned a punt for a touchdown. Great pressure, but wasn't affected. Montini with the catch, but Lombardi was crushed on that pass rush.
Zach Schriefer, I believe.
Schriefer blows by the tight end and finishes that play. In the NFL, that had been a $25,000 fine. But Montini with another reception. So it'll be in 4-down territory. 3rd and a long 4. Lombardi goes to the sideline.
He's hurting a little bit. He's limping a little bit right now.
He felt that last tackle, Coach. He felt that one.
It's a big 3rd down. I mean, you put your quarterback who's limping in a situation where he's going to run the football. Not sure if that's the right move. I got to believe that Montini's going to touch the ball in this scenario somehow.
Maybe the little Foothill trap here. Fly sweep. Good penetration by Schriefer. And the Mustangs rally up on defense. But when you get quick penetration off the edge, it screws up the timing of the fly sweep. Watch Schriefer, Coach.
It forces him to belly back. When you force a bubble into that offensive line and you force that runner to run backwards, it allows the pursuit to catch up. And the time they ran it before on 4th down, they did a nice job of getting that push too. They just missed the tackles. And, when they're solid with their tackles, they're playing very well.
It'll be 4th down here and 8. They've converted several 4th downs and short. This one's a lot different. Better guard the tight end here. And then Hobner will call a timeout. Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV, presented by Muir Orthopedic Specialists, is brought to you apart by Orthopedic Express by MOS. Get the urgent care you need at your convenience. Muir Orthopedic Specialists, specialized, innovative, compassionate. Sweeney Kovar Accountants and Advisors, meeting all of your accounting, tax, and financial service needs. Spitz Jewelers, let's get that time. Holidays right around the corner. Spitz Jewelers, making memories for 73 years. And our boy Ned Milan at the Lotus Group, Morgan Stanley, seeking to help you simplify your financial life and realize the future you envision. Acre Investment Company, commercial investments and development, education and asset management. Fit Pro Go, the most delicious shake ever. And the question is, Kyle Wright, who will be our Fit Pro Go player of the game? And my proud employer for 16 seasons, American Asphalt, taking care of business in the Bay Area for 35 years.
We know Ned's out there listening right now.
I know he is, and he's probably adding, and hopefully we see him at the post-game get-together. And speaking of post-games, another question for Karnak. Your favorite post-game meal?
Oh, my favorite post-game meal. I love the ribs, but I'm partial to the chicken. I've always liked the brine chicken.
The brine chicken is solid. One of Ned Milan's favorites. Lombardi's rushed. Sack! And the Mustangs will get the stop on 4th down. And I believe,
well, they had great coverage down the field, forced him to step up in the pocket. He couldn't throw in rhythm. And then the pocket collapsed, and he had nowhere to throw.
Chip Menard all over the field tonight. This has to be about his 8th tackle, his 2nd sack, several hurries. The senior rising up, and I think the decision by the coaching staff to take him out of the offensive line and just let him play defense has paid dividends. And I'm going to have Coach explain, even though there's 6 minutes and 30 seconds, and then Cribb fumbles, and we'll see if the officials rule him down or not.
Usually when they meet and talk about things,
it's never good, i.e. Amador Valley several years ago.
I think he's in there saying, I didn't see it. Did you see it?
No.
Did you see it?
Okay.
Well, if you didn't see it, you can't call it.
So
4-minute offense is probably what
4-minute offense. Yes.
4-minute offense.
You know what? Please explain. We like to educate. We like to entertain. Here's an education thing.
4-minute
you always
offense.
hear the announcers talking about 4-minute offense.
It's not necessarily when there's 4 minutes. This could be a 6-minute offense. This is when you're trying to grind out as many downs as you can, as many minutes as you can by running the football, moving the chains, and keeping that clock going. A perfectly executed 4-minute offense is when you get the ball and you run that clock all the way down until the clock reads 0 and you've run the clock out. That means you've gotten 3 or 4 first downs, you've moved the chains, the other team hasn't had an opportunity to get the ball. You know, if you've got your 2-minute offense, which means, hey, we need to hurry up, we need to go fast. Your 4-minute offense is you go slow, let's milk that clock, let's take all the time off, let's get 3 or 4 first downs, and let's go home.
So the Mustangs throw a screen on 2nd down, and it's tackled for no gain. It'll be 3rd and 10. And Foothill sends 6 guys. It's picked up, throw to the chains, and it's incomplete, which stops the clock.
It stops the clock, but I like Jack's decision. The ball was in and out of his hands. There was no indecision. He didn't double clutch. He threw it to a spot where only his receiver could get it. And once again, we're doing that play that we don't mind doing. It's called a punt. It's not a turnover in your own territory. It's giving them a longer field to have to go.
If Shea takes his time and punts, he's got a very capable leg. He gets in a hurry. I get he plays 2 ways. But Kyle Wright used to punt for us.
Yes, he did.
Pretty good kick away from the returner. Fair caught by number 9, Craven. And the ball will be spotted at the 48-yard line. So next Friday, what are you doing next Friday?
I don't know.
Would you like to come back?
Sure, if you'll have
me.
So
yeah, I wouldn't ask you if you weren't gonna, if I didn't want you here. So Cal High here against Monte Vista. The game will be on NorCal Sports TV, where you normally find it, youtube.com/NorCal Sports TV. At the same time, will be simulcast live on Comcast in most of Contra Costa County on EdTV Channel 30. So you could tell all your family, Coach, you're going to be on TV.
Oh, I'll be so relieved.
Yes. But they're not going to show your face, are they, Daddy? In window. The Mustangs rally up. Yes, it's a 7-yard game, but you don't want to rally up to that, and then it turns into a wheel route down the sideline.
You don't, but if you're Monte Vista, you're okay with that too, because the clock's ticking. It's forcing them to use. They're still 2 scores down,
and they only have 1 timeout. That's being Foothill.
I mentioned the kicker being taught by Chris Lum. I wanted to throw a shout out to him. He was the California State Soccer Coach of the Year. What an achievement! His team's won 2 straight NorCal championships, and it's all due to coaching.
All coaching from Chris Lum. One of the class acts.
Coaches his rear end off.
Fly sweep. Mustangs defend it pretty good. Nice tackle in space. And that's Jacob Oliphant. And you said his position in college could be on defense, and here's why you might think that. Watch Oliphant, Coach.
Quick feet. Nice job. Very nice tackle. The key to a good tackle is not dropping down to your knees, accelerating through the tackle. Keep moving your feet, keep wrapping, keep driving. You see a lot of young guys that go directly to their knees when they make contact, and they may make the play, but they give up that extra 2 yards.
3rd and short for the Falcons, and as Lombardi's done so much tonight, and again, you're not going to stop it, but hey, with less than 4 minutes left in the game, if you're going to quarterback sneak on 3rd and short, God bless you. Mustangs do a pretty good job. And it's going to be 1st and 10 at the Monte Vista 41-yard line. Foothill might take a shot here. Lombardi pressured out of the pocket again by Menard. Throws. Nice job by Mondello, just pushing the receiver out of bounds.
Nice job of flushing, and to his left. It's difficult for a quarterback to be fully sprinting as fast as he can, get his shoulders around and throw that ball. You know, if you're going to flush him, that's the way to flush him.
And the key was Schriefer trailed him. He had no room to run, and as soon as he showed that he was going to, Schriefer close. It was a very good job. So it'll be 2nd and 10, and see if the Mustangs drop into coverage, or Ben Canty was
they've
able
been doing
to get into the game.
A wonderful job of getting pressure on them with just bringing 4 guys. Occasionally they'll bring that 5th, but for the most part they've been able to get pressure bringing 4, which helps out in your coverage. If you can drop the other 7 guys and get into a max coverage and get pressure with those 4, you're in good shape.
Foothill has got some plays in the passing game in the first half, and we've got to delay a game, and that's not the penalty you want when you're down 2 scores. That means you've run 40 seconds off the clock. Plus. So now it's 3:18 left, and it's 2nd and 15. Don't bite on a some type of out and up
kind
or
of double
slat and
move.
go. Just
make sure those DBs are not sitting on anything.
Play off to the chains. And maybe one of your defensive linemen can get to the quarterback. Schriefer looking to come off the edge, but then he'll end up dropping into
coverage. Going to bring 3 in you.
Shallow cross. And it's a juggle catch. Watch 54. Great job by the Mustangs. And Parker Erickson into the ball game. Watch the throw, and he's trailing this play from behind. And the defensive lineman chases us down. I love that.
Good pursuit. You always tell the guys, play to the whistle. And you love seeing those big guys coming from behind, not quitting on a play, expecting somebody else to make it. It also keeps the clock moving.
The clock keeps going. You'll take the shallow cross for a yard or 2 yards. 3rd and 13. Homecoming. And Foothill wrecked San Ramon's homecoming last week, but it appears that the Mustangs are going to protect their house. It'll get a little happier here with a stop here on 3rd and 13. Schriefer coming off the edge. Lombardi throw to the chains.
Oh,
nearly intercepted by Oliphant, but it's a catch and a 1st down. Justin Craven coming back for the ball on the 5 route, and Oliphant just couldn't get there in time to get the interception.
He made a great drive on the ball, and I think he just missed it. I mean, the ball was thrown a little bit high for him, and he went up and he didn't jump quite as high as I thought he would. Good play by the receiver. Good throw by the quarterback.
I mean, there isn't a 2-minute warning in high school. Schriefer.
That's a
Menard.
Chip Menard making a play again.
Schriefer comes off the edge, which flushed. Literally sent Menard.
And don't forget the clock is still running.
Sent it right to Menard, and Menard with his 2nd sack. Good pressure, and Menard with the sack. We'll get back to that 2-minute warning story here in a second. 2nd and 25. Slat route. Craven with the catch. Oliphant with it. And we've got a penalty flag. Was he Kyle a sophomore?
I believe he was a sophomore. I'd like to think he was a sophomore.
Yeah, he was a sophomore. We got a face mask on Monte Vista. And there's about 2 minutes left in the half. And what did Kyle do?
Well, we talked about it last night. I could see him laughing and burying his head in his hands, but he was walking over to the sidelines with about 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go, and we're in a minute of a 2-minute offense trying to score. And I said, what are you doing? He says, well, Coach, a 2-minute warning is going to happen in 10 seconds. And I had to explain to him that there is no 2-minute warning in high school, and get your ass back out there. We got to play.
And we've also got a timeout, Foothill. So crucial play for them. It'll be 2nd down after the timeout. And once again, next week, we'll be here, Sam Zackheim Memorial Field, for Cal High against Monte Vista. That game will be shown on NorCalSportsTV.com, where you're watching it right now. Will be simulcast live on Comcast, EdTV, Channel 30. And we've signed another 7-day contract with Coach Bergman, so he'll return next week.
And if you notice, in the old days, that would have been that would have been an automatic first down, that face mask. But
yes,
it's not an automatic first down anymore.
The only automatic first downs are personal fouls and unsportsmanlike conducts?
Correct. That is the only automatic first downs now. Now it's not that way at the next level.
No, but it is at high school.
High
but
when you watch,
when you're like Kyle Wright and you love football and you watch all this football, they all mash together. And it's a 2-minute warning or it's not a 2-minute warning. But those are the fun things that really appreciate the years we had and all the good kids and the support of the community. And somebody we didn't get a chance to talk about last night, Joan Buchanan, had been such a big supporter of us over the years.
Terrific support. Still is.
Yeah. Lombardi, Mustangs rush. Montini slips out of the backfield. Nice play. Racina, he played the back line of the end zone and sensed that receiver was coming right along behind him, and he guessed right, got his hand up. That's about his fourth deflection.
And Lombardi made the right move of throwing the ball. Some people might think he should have run that, but with the time the way it is, where they need 2 scores, they were closing on him. I think it was the right thing to do, was to try and at least complete that pass and not run the football where he would have killed another 30 seconds off the clock, which is what they can't afford to do right now.
So Racina, on a couple of blitzes tonight, got his hand up in the passing lane as deflected passes, and then there's a pass defense in the end zone. So they like to get the ball here to Montini in this situation. And a slant route, incomplete. And who's in coverage? Jacob Oliphant. Good pressure up front. Lombardi knocked down on that pass play.
Ryan Neely did a great job of putting heat on him and hitting him as he threw it. He really disrupted it. You'll see he gets good push from the inside. Nice spin move right to the quarterback.
Did we just see a spin move by Ryan Neely? I like it. I like it. Work a move. It's 4th down and 4. The Mustangs have got a 4th down stop in their territory earlier. See if they can do it again. Minute 12. Foothill doesn't get it here. It's time to warm up and do the rouser.
Montini time. I didn't say Martini time. I said Montini time.
Lombardi. He's got Montini. Hits the 0 route. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Foothill. 10-yard touchdown reception from Lombardi.
Well, if we didn't see an onside kick the last time, we're certainly going to see one here.
Montini. And that young man with a 15-yard catch on the shallow cross and a touchdown. And then comes back with a 10-yard reception on a shallow cross and a touchdown. No quit in the Falcons.
He's going to need a little ice tomorrow.
Yeah, he's going to be sore. High snap. And looks like my golf shot. And it
is like your golf shot. No good.
No good. No bueno. So the second time that Foothill has missed the extra point. Missed PAT. And it's 35-29. This is definitely Hand's team. Foothill doesn't have any timeouts. So if you recover the onside kick, you win the
game. Take 2 knees and you go home.
Unless you're going to go Joe Pisarczyk, and you can go ahead and Google that. Herm Edwards.
I believe I just watched the top 10 plays in the history of the NFL. I think that was one of them.
Wasn't top 10, but it was in one of the top 20, top 30 plays.
It should have been one of the bottom 10 plays.
Yes, well, for the New York Giants and Larry Zonka and Joe Pisarczyk, no good play.
And they had Philadelphia. Who was the head coach of the New York Giants?
John McVay.
John McVay, whose son Sean McVay.
Grandson.
Now the head coach of grandson of the Los Angeles Raiders. Raiders. No, the Los Angeles.
You'd always say, don't correct me in front of the players. All right, so
now with the new rules, you can only put a maximum of 6 people on one side. It used to be where you could load up any side, as many as you wanted. Nowadays, in the new rules, you could put 6, so it's not quite as much of an advantage as you used to have. Good kick.
Where the Mustangs got an interception on a deflection, they recover the onside kick. Schriefer.
That was a terrific onside kick. They got that bounce. You're always looking for that extra bounce. And right there where it kicks up in the air, Foothill actually gets a hand on it.
At the 11-yard mark. They didn't touch it before it went 10. That's well executed. What's your favorite formation?
Victory formation.
Triple right. I thought you were going to say triple right bunch.
No.
8-4-0 each corner.
I would say victory formation.
I got Shawshank Redemption and Great Escape.
But you missed the Animal House. How can you miss Animal House?
Coach, no, it wasn't your all-time favorite. It was just I needed to be in get two of your top movies.
Well, I like a lot of movies.
I know you do. But those two I know you particularly like. So the Mustangs will just have to run one more play.
And when we say play, we mean take a knee.
Take a knee. You lose yards. That was the only thing we didn't like about taking a knee. And that'll be the ball game. So the Mustangs with the 35-29 victory. So the Mustangs take care of business. Wasn't a perfect game, but got the win 35-29 as the clock is about to get down to 0. But before we talk about Monte Vista, Foothill they made some mistakes, but they played some good aggressive football, and they are a much different team from the first game of the season to where they are now.
You know what? They're so well coached, and it's obvious. You know, they find ways to win. They've done it 5 times straight going into this game, and it's a tribute to their players and their coaches. You know, you look at them physically, and they're certainly not some menacing team that you're looking at going, boy, how are we going to hold up against them? They don't have a ton of speed, but they just find ways to get it done. They're like I said, they execute both offensively and defensively. They give you a lot of fits that way. They had some standout performances. Monte did a wonderful job. I thought Lombardi was excellent. He made good decisions, ran the ball when he needed to. And in the first half, they controlled the tempo of the game for most of it. And then Monte Vista kind of exploded with, as you said, 35 points in 12 minutes and kind of put it out of reach.
Yeah. And they made some key plays in the red zone tonight and got the win 35-29 as Coach Russi, let's talk about him. Didn't want to come up to varsity as a sophomore. We always tease him about that.
He was a little soft.
But one of the smartest players we ever had, and we had separate conversations with him with the goal of getting him back home and having him get in the system and be the head coach. It's got to make you feel good about Matt and the effort and how hard the kids play for him.
No, he's so passionate about it. I mean, I'm still a teacher here, and we're together every day, and I see how hard he's grinding, and it brings back the old memories when we used to do it, back when we were his age and putting in all the time. It's so important to him. He's so, he's so conscientious about what he's doing, and I think he's done a wonderful job. The program's in great hands with him. He's assembled a nice staff. The kids really enjoy him. He relates well. He's a natural.
Yeah, and we get that call. You get it at about 11:15. I'll get it about 11:30, and it's Matt checking in with his coaches. Won't tonight. We're going to have some ribs together and talk about the game and share some laughs. But very proud of Matt, and the ball club was down 10-0 tonight. They put together some some big plays. Stewartson, 3 touchdown passes. Jacob Oliphant with 2 kickoff return and a punt return. Our Fit Pro Go player of the game is number 6, Jacob Oliphant. Oliphant with a 85-yard touchdown return on a kickoff. Then a 75-yard punt return with the only points of the second half. Jacob Oliphant is our Fit Pro Go player of the game. Once again, next week we'll be right here, youtube.com/NorCal Sports TV, as the Mustangs host the California Fighting Grizzlies at 7 o'clock. That game will be simulcast live on EdTV in Contra Costa County on Comcast, and it'll be right here live on NorCalSportsTV.com. Well, we'll wrap things up from Sam Zakai Memorial Field, where Monte Vista beat Foothill 35-26 to move their record to 5-2. Our next Monte Vista football game on NorCal Sports TV will be Friday, October 18th at 7 p.m. as the Stings host Cal High. This game will be simulcast on EdTV, Channel 30 in Danville, Alamo, and most of Contra Costa County. You've been watching Monte Vista football on NorCal Sports TV, presented by Muir Orthopedic Specialists. Thanks to our crew, Jason Green, Sean Wilkerson, our director, Luis Rangel, my partner in crime, color commentator Craig Bergman. I'm Chris Babcock in Danville. Good night, and thanks for being on the show. Good job, big fella.